What's going on, everybody? Let's listen to what they saying with lefties losing this. Shout out to Rita, Sky News Daily. Shout out to her, you know what I mean?
It's time to check in with the ladies of The View, and today we hear this kernel of truth from Joy Behar. They are haters and they are miserable.
You know what's in the air, Whoopi? Trumpism. We lost the election. Wait a minute. We lost the election. We're miserable.
Yeah, people are speculating that they may not end up renewing The View. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's true or not. But that would be very, very interesting. I know MSNBC, they're thinking about selling it, but, you know, we'll see.
Half of this country is miserable. And let's just tell the truth. We hate that he won. We hate it.
You hate that he won? Like, that is literally insane, bro. Like, this is what I don't understand about social media. People like this can get up here and say things like that, and then if we say anything remotely close to that, we get in trouble. Like, that's ridiculous, bro. And this is not even a news organization to be able to talk and spew stuff like that. That's crazy. That's literal insanity.
Everybody's uptight and crazy right now.
They are miserable. Yes, we know. We know that. Not much joy on The View set. Now listen here as Joy unloads on a man whose audience is far, far greater than hers, Joe Rogan. She's upset about dragons.
We went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons? He believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like, I guess, like dinosaur-y type of animals.
Oh dear. For the record, because you're never going to get straight facts
That's
from
funny.
The View, Joe Rogan doesn't believe there were once dragons that breathe fire, like in the Game of Thrones. He was talking about dragon, dinosaur type of animals that fly, something wildlife biologists have speculated about. But back to The
What's up, Magic?
View and their delusions
Hey,
of
hit the like button, Magic, if you can, man.
honesty and accuracy.
But I think that that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
Checked by everybody.
yeah, I mean, if we're wrong, we have, you know, the legal note here.
I'm sorry, but Sonny reading out frequent legal notes when people
And
threaten
Sonny is like literally the person that's most wrong a lot. Like,
to sue is not the same thing as being accurate. Now to an almighty meltdown from Axios CEO and co-founder Jim Vanderhey. This rant about Elon Musk and X is incredible for its sheer
up,
audacity
A-Dub?
and
What's up, him?
self-delusion. He really thinks people lost trust in the media because of X or some nefarious force. No, Jim, it was because folks were sick of being lied to by the leftist media.
Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day or X today saying, like, we are the media. You are the media. My message to
I see y'all hitting the hundreds. Shout out to y'all. All right, so I've got difference of opinion on X. Like, shout out to Elon Musk. I like that he ended up buying it and tried to make it, you know, open forum. But there is a lot of misinformation on X. There's a lot. And like saying that everybody is media, I mean, it's cool to, you know, to try to make people feel empowered, but a lot of people are just spewing a lot of misinformation on X, man. It's ridiculous. Like the amount, and then like the likes and retweets that people get on the misinformation. Some people, like, they put real information out there. And I think Elon and them are trying to, you know, do their best to put annotations on people's posts, but it's so many of them. I don't see how they can get to all of them, you know? So there is like you know, I don't really rock with left-wing media at all, but they are right. Like, there's a lot of misinformation out there on Twitter because it's just random people. Like, anybody can just get up there and say anything, you know? And if you make it hateful enough towards liberals, like, it's gonna do numbers. Like, it's what it is. I mean, that's the climate of X right now. Like, so that's the dangerous part about it, and it goes unchecked, I feel like, because, you know, you got, like, let's just say people don't like Joy Reid, right? And they start spewing a lot of like hate propaganda on her. Like, she's does enough to make people not like her. But if they start bullying her and going crazy on her, like, that is amplified, you know? And it's like, You could, I mean, you could literally you can pick a liberal that you don't like and go in on them all day long on Twitter, and nothing will happen to your account. Nothing. You know, so I see it all day long, you know, on there. So
just media.
Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media. You are the media. My message to Elon Musk is bullshit. You're not the media. What we do, what journalists do, what you did in Mississippi, what Al Jazeera does in the Middle East. Like, being a reporter's hard, really hard. You have to care. You have to do the hard work. You have to get up every single day and say, I want to get to the closest approximation of the truth without any...
First of all, a lot of y'all leftist media, y'all do not be looking for the truth. I don't think y'all be looking for the truth at all. Like, y'all just get up there. Anything negative about the Republican Party, y'all just put out there. And I will say, at least, like, and I was very surprised, like, watching Fox News, they try to keep it, I mean, they are right-wing, but I think they're more midline than left-wing media. You know, and I think that's why a lot of people can identify with them now, because they're not so far right like they used to be. You know, so I think they got a lot of things to do on the left to try to get people interested again in that type of politics. Because right now, I mean, I can't stand to listen to anybody from the left, bro. Like Joy Reid, any of them. Anderson Cooper is like, you can kind of listen to him. Don Lemon, you can't listen to him at all. You know, it's so extremely left. It's ridiculous.
Fear without any favoritism.
He's either lying or he's ignorant. There are no other options
What's
at
up,
this
Pitch?
point. Journalists ignoring the truth and becoming political activists is what has seen trust in the media plummet to record lows. But of course, Jim's rant was applauded by the very worst examples of the leftist media, the lunatic asylum that is MSNBC, the network with a plummeting audience for the lunatic fringe, by the lunatic fringe, and yeah, of course, they loved Jim's speech.
You do it by doing the hard work.
Yeah, come on, slow clap, everybody. Whoa. First of all, I've got to say, extraordinary content. It needed to be said.
Yeah.
It continues to need to be said. When all of the garbage is flying around on social media, lying about reporters, lying about the hard work they do, lying about the hard work editors do, lying about everything up and down.
Joe Scarborough and the network that has done more to damage journalism's name than any other, he's still trying to gaslight the nation. At least while they're playing the victim, they've stopped pushing the Russian collusion hoax. Time to check in now on the leader of the free world. Remember him? Joe Biden, or is it Joe Biden's husband?
I must say,
What?
I followed that standard because I had no choice. I'm Joe Biden's husband.
Oh dear, he's not.
She said, oh dear. A-Dub said only way to get people back is to raise food stamps. I don't see how anybody can. They're so far removed from reality, the left, I feel like. I don't see how anybody can really rock with them right now.
Oh, there is he. Now to a man identifying as a woman who's wearing a lemon dress and a keffiyeh. I wouldn't suggest doing that in Gaza or the West Bank or any Muslim majority country.
Today, for the first time, I dressed fully feminine in public, in the broad light of day. It was to a luncheon at my work. With the board of directors of the theater company I work for. I wore my lemon dress and my keffiyeh.
And something of a miracle, folks. This is CNN bringing cold, hard facts to their audience. And you know, in airports and hospital waiting rooms around America, there'd be lefties losing it listening to this.
Take a look here. President Trump's transition net approval. You go back to November of 2016. Look at this. It was just at plus 1 point. Just at plus 1 point. That is well below the historical norm. Look at where we are today. Significantly higher.
This is still crazy that we got a two-party system. This is crazy. A-Dub said, Yeah, left going crazy. Yeah, they have gone crazy, bro.
18 points. That's 17 points higher on the presidential transition net approval rating. The bottom line is this. If 8 years ago Americans were lukewarm on Donald Trump, at this particular point, they're giving him much more the benefit of the doubt. A lot more Americans are in love with this transition. What you see 8 years ago, 53% of Americans were scared or concerned, the majority towards the upcoming Trump term. Look at where we are now. The shoe is on the other foot. 53% of Americans are excited or optimistic. It's flip-flop.
Let me hear like another one of hers before we get into what we here for.
Now, we've seen the meltdown from the MSNBC Morning Joe team, Joe and Mika. They have embarrassed themselves over and over again. Here is Joe Scarborough on Election Day.
We still have an electorate, 70 million plus, that will be voting for a man who said he was going to assassinate for treason the chairman of the Joint Chiefs because he didn't support him on January the 6th, who has said just in recent days he was going to execute Liz Cheney with a firing squad, 9 guns pointed and shooting.
All right, we'll see. I'll see you later, bro.
At her face, a man who has said that he was going to shut down CBS because he didn't like how they edited an interview, a man who said he was going to be a dictator from day one, a man who said he was going to terminate the Constitution, a man who said he was going to use the Army and he was going to use the National Guard on his political opponents.
Just absolutely hysterical, demented. And it's not just him. The rest of the MSNBC crew have practically declared a fatwa on Trump. They have since 2016. I could literally play you hours of tapes of just Joe. But here's just a teeny tiny taste of the craziness from Scarborough. And of course, it includes Hitler talk. Have a look at what he says before the election and then see if you can detect the change of tone.
What's y'all favorite news network? I want to ask y'all in the comments. Y'all let me know. Magic said lies, lies, lies. F. Young said he's mad. I don't know.
After the election. And funnily, he's wearing the same outfit in both clips.
An autocrat who decides to be a dictator on day one, who decides to arrest all those who he doesn't like, who's talked about assassinating generals that aren't sufficiently loyal to him.
Shout out to Deontay Kennedy, a member in here. You can be a member on the channel. Appreciate you. Theorist 9 said you too.
To his chief of staff that his generals should be more like Hitler's generals. Seems to make sense for leaders of both parties to seek common ground, if it's possible at all. And I will tell you, a lot of Democratic leaders we've talked to this past week, since the election, have told me...
I can't believe this guy's got control of so many different people's minds. Like, you know, they really like, oh, we got to listen to the Morning Joe. We got to listen to... Like, they really be eating up everything this dude says, bro. It is ridiculous.
It's time for a new approach.
Just completely bonkers. Joining me now is Newsweek's senior editor-at-large and Article 3 Project Senior Counsel, Josh Hammer. Josh, what do you make of that? Such a dramatic change in a very short period of time. And Joe and Mika have gone and had a meeting with Donald Trump. But my first question is, why would Donald Trump spare any of his valuable time meeting these two?
Well, look, Rita, Donald Trump loves the media. I mean, he has a love-hate relationship with the media, to be clear. He hates some of the at the same time. But, you know, I mean, at one point in the past, he referred to Maggie Haberman of the New York Times as his therapist because he just enjoys talking to her on the phone. I mean, he's had a love-hate relationship with the media for literally like 35, 40 years. I mean, probably since before I was
born. Like, I am going to fight like hell for this.
The most effective ad of the whole campaign was the one that Donald Trump did directly about this whole issue, saying Kamala's for they, them, Trump is for you. And
what do y'all think about Nancy Mace? Y'all rocking with her? What y'all think?
Remarkably effective. I think a lot of people, particularly women...
Elon didn't say he wants to buy MSNBC. He just flirting with the idea of doing it, you know, like memes and stuff like that, just making fun of the situation that they're in right now. So he didn't say he's gonna buy it. Like, he's just flirting with the idea of it.
But a lot of people, including...
Yeah, Drexel, get the likes up, hit the like button if y'all can, because y'all got to understand, man. Like, it's a lot of competition right now. Everybody wants to talk about Drake, bro. I talked about Drake for a little bit, and I got like 10,000 views like that. Like, so, you know, we fighting against a lot of that. So just hit the likes if y'all can. The hearts, double tap the screen, all that if y'all can.
Including you, we feel very strongly that this issue.
Yeah, Elon's Randy 2K. I see you. Like, Elon is definitely the GOAT of trolling.
Of trans athletes in women's sport, trans women in women's spaces, and so on, has just got completely out of control and is unfair, unequal, or even indeed now potentially harmful. Tell me why.
So it says Nancy Ruth Mace is an American politician who has been the U.S. representative for South Carolina's 1st congressional district since 2021. She is a member of the Republican Party. In 1999, Mace became the first woman to graduate from the Corps of Cadets program at the Citadel.
How do you feel so exercised about this?
Well, I am deeply passionate about women's rights. I'm the first woman to graduate.
What's up, Thizzle? Another member on the channel. Appreciate you, bro.
From the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. I'm also the very first woman, Republican woman, elected to Congress from my home state of South Carolina. And, you know, this issue is...
And she's like, the thing with her, she does not want, like, you know, men in women's bathrooms and stuff like that.
Us right in our faces right now, and it's something that I will take a stand on.
They call her the bathroom crusader.
This is a hill I'm willing to die on to protect women and girls. And the other thing I've been saying too is that I'm a survivor of rape. I was raped at the age of 16. And about a year ago, I had a deeply traumatic experience, and I was diagnosed with PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, from abuse that I suffered at the hands of a man. And I've lost 30 pounds over the course of the last 12 months. This weekend, in fact, I moved for the 4th time in a year. And so I have suffered the consequences of abuse, and I know firsthand how women's private spaces should be just for women. Rape victims like myself, or any woman, for that matter, should not be forced to undress in front of men. And that's what the insanity
Yeah, that's insanity to me. I think she's right. Like, you know, just imagine, like, I've got a daughter, bro. Like, that's why I'm serious about that. Like, I don't, like, if the school starts doing stuff like that, I'm pulling her out. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, that's, to me, is crazy. Dizzle Young, he said, you know what it is, Thug Life. Negro said, why is she no good 20? The View is fighting each other. I love it.
Left, that's what their policies are causing, not just on Capitol Hill, but all across the country, in schools, in locker rooms, dressing rooms, bathrooms. This is happening everywhere. And we have to put a line in the sand, big, fat, bold, red line, and say, hell no, no more. Like, I am going to fight like hell for this. I don't want chicks with dicks in my bathroom, in my dressing room. I don't want to be forced to change in front of a man, period. And it's a trigger for me.
Yo,
and
what?
I absolutely am going to go to the mat for women and girls everywhere and put a stop to it.
America crazy, bro.
You know, your critics say when you use phrases like chicks with dicks, you're being deliberately inflammatory, and you're fueling transphobia, that you have essentially.
Yo, what is going on, bro?
Trans people.
Hey, he had to change his title too. Like, I know, hey, Piers Morgan, you not slick, because that's what he had his title. He changed his title.
What would you say to them?
I would say they're completely off the rails. They're worried about feelings and not facts. And the facts are, Pierce, I voted for gay marriage not once, but twice. I have co-sponsored legislation to protect the rights of those in the LGBTQ community.
I think she worth like $4 million now. Like, she getting banked, bro.
But I draw a line, the insanity of the left that thinks it's okay for a man and his penis to be in our private spaces. And look, Pierce, I was receiving hundreds of death threats a day last week. I got over 1,000 death threats. I've had to increase my security. Some guy tried to rush the stage last week trying to get at me. I've had multiple people in front of Capitol Police that were...
Bro, imagine, like, people trying to get at Nancy Mace is crazy, bro. Like, they try to take her out. That's insane, bro, because she don't agree with their, you know, what they trying to push on people. Like they want to take her out. That's crazy. She got 493,000 followers on her Twitter. Like she coming up, bro. Like I was seeing her when she had like 80,000. Like so she's been like her Twitter's been blowing up, bro.
Hurting me, come up to me and try to verbally or physically accost me over the last couple of days. The fact that you're willing to kill a woman over her right to privacy it's insanity. And I feel like the more that they come after me, the harder I'm going to fight back, the harder I'm going to push back. It's rabid insanity is what it is.
You know, but she be going crazy on Twitter. Let me let me show y'all though. She ain't slick. Hold up. Yeah, that's her. Hold on. Let me look.
You can't erase us, Nancy. Well, then you shouldn't try to erase women. I have to say, for any man that wants to be in a woman's restroom, bathroom, dressing room, locker room, absolutely not.
I like her, bro. She funny.
Fascinating is that you're obviously a conservative, but J.K. Rowling, who's had exactly the same experience that you have for raising exactly the same concerns, she's very much to the left. So they're pretty, non-discriminatory in the abuse and threats that they dish out, the trans lobby over this. And again, I've always said, all I want for trans people is the same rights to fairness and equality that I enjoy and that you enjoy and everybody else enjoys. But what it can't do, and I felt strongly about this for years, it cannot erode women's rights to fairness, equality, and safety. And that's really what the nub of this debate is. When you see people like AOC, for example, screeching away about you, what do you feel? Because I always feel with her, on the one hand, she's all for, we've got to protect women's rights for abortion, for example, but she doesn't give a damn about 6'5" biological males dominating women's sport or getting into boxing rings in women's boxing at the Olympics and winning gold medals by beating up actual women when they have male chromosomes. So it's a complete double standard. And I think it's partly one of the reasons they got such a thumping in the election, because I think most people are like...
Yeah, he said they got a thumping in the election. Pierce is funny, bro.
You know what? This stuff's nuts.
Totally. And you saw Kamala Harris. She won women at a lesser margin than Joe Biden did. When he won in 2020, he won women by plus 13 points. Kamala won women by 8 points. And so women are trending away from the Democrat Party. And in fact, just a few minutes ago before we got on...
Hey, anybody in here, I want to ask y'all a question. We're going to get back to this. Have y'all seen the new movie Gladiator? Is it good? Let me know if y'all seen it or not.
To tape this interview, I heard from yet another Democrat woman who is sick and tired of being marginalized by the left. And I've heard from lesbians, I've heard from gays, and, they're like, we understand you want to protect our rights and this goes too far. We get it. We support you. And so I appreciate I'm grateful for everyone of every political stripe, every orientation who said, we're with you, because this is going to take an army to push back against 1/2% of the population. And literally they're putting my life in danger. I've been called an extremist, a right winger, and I am conservative, but what they're doing, the violent rhetoric they're using, is putting the life of my life and my kids' lives in danger. And it's not okay. And I'm just going to fight back. I'm going to fight back harder.
Well, it is absolutely shocking that you've been receiving all these death threats. It's shocking. It's outrageous. It's shameful. And it comes from a group of people on the left who love to put #BeKind in their ex profiles.
Exactly. He's right.
And claim they stand for empathy and compassion and so on. They don't show any of that to people like you or J.K. Rowling, who stand up over the parapet. I think of Riley Gaines as well. He's been incredibly brave in the sports issue and has had similar experience where she's been literally barricaded in buildings as howling mobs have descended on her. There's a real hypocrisy there, isn't there? That the Be Kind Brigade are often the most vicious.
The party of joy, the party that says they're going to protect women, they're only going to protect trans women. I mean, that's kind of where we are.
It kind of is starting to seem like that. Like I think she's right, bro. What do y'all think? Like when they say they're going to protect women, it seemed like period. They're just talking about trans women. Like, I don't think they're trying to protect regular, like, women. I don't mean that like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, don't it seem like that? I feel like the left has made like biological women like more at risk. That's how I feel. Because you just letting anybody like go into their bathrooms. Like, you know, there's like some guys that may be off, you know, just say, oh, well, let me just identify as this or whatever. And then they can go in that bathroom and do anything, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, I feel like women are really at risk right now. That's how I feel.
Right now, and I've been saying this for a long time now, that Republicans and conservatives are going to protect.
Yeah, hey, Treehouse. That's why I don't want to see it, because Denzel doing anything he can to sell this Gladiator too, bro. Like, and it's starting to get repulsive. It's like, man, if you got to be doing all of this, claiming this and that, like, I don't want to like see it, bro.
Women, and we're literally seeing this unfold in real time. The way that I have been treated, the bigotry that's out there, the hatred, the evil, the threat of violence, threat of killing me, the threat of raping me, because I don't want male genitalia in my bathroom, because I don't want to be forced as a rape victim to have to undress in front of men. Like, that's just not. It's not okay. It infringes upon our rights as women, the rights of girls. And I've heard from a number of people all across the country who agree, men and women alike.
I agree with her.
What's your response to that?
Well, I mean, the misogyny. Women.
Transgender woman to be in Congress, recently elected. She said this on CBS News, Face the Nation.
Every bit of time and energy that is used to divert the attention of the federal government to go after trans people is time and energy that is not focused on addressing the cost of living for our constituents.
What's your response to that?
Well, I mean, the misogyny. Women can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can do more than one policy at any given time. I've filed almost 100 bills in my first 2 terms in Congress. I work on a lot of issues. This isn't the only one, but it's certainly the one that has touched a chord with women across the country from both parties. And I'm going to continue to work hard and fight for them while I'm stemming the tide of inflation and out of control government spending that's been caused by both parties for decades now. We need to stem the tide of illegals crossing into our country, invading our country illegally, and we've got to protect women. We can do all those things all at the same time. There's nothing to stop women who work hard.
Have you heard from President-elect Trump in the last week since all this started?
I have heard from folks that will be in his administration that are part of his team, and they support me in this endeavor. And they saw what you saw, Pierce, and that ad, they and them, and versus he's for you, and they support me on this policy, and I hope they'll support me in the future bills that we're filing as we speak now.
Well, Nancy Mace, I appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, joining me to discuss this and more, Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation and architect of...
Y'all see that picture down there of her? Oh my gosh, she looked good in that picture. She looked good in that picture, bro.
Project 2025. And the author of Dawn's Early Light, Carrie Lake, a leader in the America First movement, with whom I've had many spirited debates over the years, legendary journalist and commentator Geraldo Rivera. Great to have him back on Uncensored. And the host of No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. Let me go to you, Geraldo, first. A, because I love talking to you, and it's great to have you back.
Thank you.
B, because this election result did not go the way that you anticipated, or indeed the way you voted. Do you think that one of the reasons, I mean, I think it was threefold. One, economy / cost of living, no question. Secondly, the crisis on the southern border and the whole issue of illegal immigration. But thirdly, what the left like to call a culture war, but actually what Trump has said is a sort of battle for common sense. And one of the things for common sense being this issue of trans people in women's spaces. Do you think that was I mean, we know that ad, the Kamala's for they, them, Trump's for you, was very effective. Do you think it had a bigger impact than people realize?
I think it certainly had a huge impact, and you're absolutely right about the 3 pillars of what happened: the southern border, the economy, and this trans issue. But the trans issue, to be equated with those 2 monumental, profound, earth-shaking issues, is exactly my problem with the issue. It's not half of 1% of the American people, as Congresswoman Mace suggests. It's 1% of 1%. It's a tiny. I heard there were 40 cases for the whole country to be obsessed with this issue.
Nah, Randy 2K say. I'll be seeing some pictures of Nancy Mason. I'm like, oof.
Is extremely
hang on.
distressing.
You're a big sports fan like me. There was a United Nations report that came out 2 weeks ago, and it said that 900 medals had gone to trans athletes around the world, thus depriving.
That's literally crazy. That's insane. 900 medals. It's insane.
Actual biological women athletes from winning medals. That's not a small, insignificant thing. And what you're beginning to see are more and more cases of trans athletes beginning to dominate in women's sport. And it led inevitably, I felt, to the farce at the Paris Olympics, where Iman Khalif won the gold medal in a women's boxing competition after one of the women.
Hit the emojis and all that, y'all. Shout out to y'all. We got like 8,000 views in the video now. But you keep hitting it, man, because I see Shannon Sharp, all these people starting to upload. Everybody trying to talk about this Drake stuff. We talking about this right now.
Who fought against Iman Khalif, had to quit after 40 seconds because she'd never been hit that hard in her life. And Iman Khalif has been widely reported now and was banned from the World Championships earlier than the Olympics because of this, for having male chromosomes. In other words, is for all intents and purposes, a biological male. With your sports hat on, knowing how important the integrity of sport relies on fairness and equality, you can't be happy about that.
I am not happy about it at all, and I believe that your biological identity is pretty easily determined, or should be, in terms of what is appropriate for athletic competition.
Bro, just think about how other countries are viewing America, bro. Like this stuff right here, man. They play a game of Call of Duty and hear them people from different countries talk about Americans and what they be calling us. This is why they be talking like this, bro.
Or which bathroom you use. But I also think that this issue has been used. You talk about culture war. This issue has been used to aggravate a kind of unrest, a kind of division in the country. It really is exacerbating, and people are exploiting the issue in a way that is extremely troubling to me, rather than, for example, you make an accommodation for people who say they are on transition. I use a cane now. There's a restroom for handicapped people that, generally speaking, is one person at a time. Let them use that one. There are ways to accommodate
but
this
I agree with
without
that.
making it so
silly
to be so exaggerated as a
Gerardo,
so acute.
I could not agree more. And in sport, I think it's very straightforward. You just say that all trans women athletes, you have your own category, or you compete in the male category, which is the one that most of them have previously competed in, albeit almost always far less successfully. And that's the point. They are far more successful trans athletes when they switch to women's sport than they ever were in men's sport. And that is my big problem with this. That's why we separate the sexes at the Olympics. Otherwise, women would win no medals. And everyone knows that. Otherwise, why would we separate them? Carrie Lake, welcome back to you. I'm sorry about your loss. I'm not as sorry as you probably are, but nice to have you. Their loss is our gain, Carrie. So welcome to the Uncensored as always. This whole issue of the culture war, including the trans thing, but also what Trump called the core of common sense. I do feel that particularly with men, millions more of whom gravitated to Trump, whether they were black men, Latino men, white men, whatever. I think they do care about this stuff, and they voted with their feet.
100%, and men and women. I mean, fathers out there having to think about their daughter going into a locker room and having a biological boy or man in.
It's literally insane, bro. Man.
There with their daughter, put their foot down and said, hell know. And let me tell you, I applaud Congresswoman Mace for standing up and taking a stance on this. You know, people have to realize that in Congress, many of these congressmen and women live right there in their office because they can't afford to have a home in their home district and also one in Washington, D.C. So this isn't just about going to the restroom. It's about showering and getting ready in the locker rooms. And you know what? We're tired as women of mentally ill men playing dress up, trying to act like they're women. We're not going to surrender our womanhood to this anymore. And as a country, we need to stand up and say enough. Enough is enough. We've had great strides as women, and we're not going to hand over those strides and be disappeared by this transgender movement. And we've got to stop pushing it in our schools on our children. You know, when I was growing up many years ago, I grew up and went to a rural school, and there were no transgender kids. Nobody even knew what that term was. And now today in that same rural school, I'm told there are 12 or 13 kids in the junior high who believe they're transgender. This is being pushed on our children. It's very dangerous. And we just saw this story today, and it brings a tear to my eye because I've gotten a chance to meet the father, Jeff, who just lost custody of his 12-year-old son. The courts in California have taken away his custody because he wants to protect his son from being sterilized by this crazy movement that is out to get our children. And we got to stop sometime. This is not normal. It's not the new normal, and we will never accept it.
Yeah, listen, I agree. Brian, you and I, we've debated this quite a lot, actually. I want to play you a clip, because you might be surprised where I go with this, but I want to play you a clip. This is from an interview
Nicola O'Brien said it should never be a thing. Randy Joseph said, after Donald Trump, America will get a good president again. And J.D. Vance. Tea Party 1773 said Project 2025 is direct opposition to Build Back Better.
I did with President Trump in his first term.
Steve said, never heard a Democrat say Project 2025 more than a Democrat. Smelly said, meanwhile, rich keep getting richer. It's a red herring, period. And then Jesse Jennings said, Megan was the original never Trumper with TDS. She has no foresight. She moves with the majority.
It's about the issue of transgenders in the military, which is rumored overnight that he wants to ban all transgender women from the military. Let's take a look. The cost of the medication is minuscule compared to the overall budget, right? You accept that. The US military spends a lot more money, for example, on giving Viagra to service men and women, or service men.
I didn't know they did
than it does actually on medical bills for transgender people. Yeah. And so it just seems to me an unnecessary thing for a guy who wants to be supportive of LGBT rights and the community around the world, that you've taken this action.
Well, it is what it is. Look, massive amounts, and also people were going in and then asking for the operation, and the operation is $200,000, $250,000. And getting the operation, the recovery period is long, and they have to take large amounts of drugs after that, for whatever reason, but large amounts. And that's not the way it is. I mean, you can't do that.
So Brian, this all got very analyzed at the time, and there's no doubt you are allowed to take
y'all can hit the super chat.
Pharmaceutical substances in the military.
Kind counselor said, absolutely, The View should be off the air. Also, trans should compete against each other. Yeah, because like somebody told me this. I don't know if this is true or not. I want to put this out there. I was at a bar, and this lady, she's a bartender, right? And she was just like, there was a boxing match between a woman and a trans woman, right? And the trans woman was actually, if you look at, you know, men in boxing was like the lowest level, right? And couldn't really compete with the men. The woman who was the natural born woman, right, was, you know, she trained all of her life, and then she got in the ring with the guy that, you know, identified as a woman, and the dude like pummeled her and she quit, you know. And it's just like, it shows a difference of power and things like that. So I don't know, man. I heard about that, but I don't know if it's true or not. A woman boxing a man. I could look it up.
Point was corrected. I think he had a point about the surgery. You know, if you have trans surgery and it takes you out of work for a sustained period of time. I can see why that would be difficult. But I didn't really, and I don't really now, understand why trans people...
It's true. It's on AP News. Wow.
Can't serve in the military. I mean, the whole argument about the sport thing goes out the window because, frankly, if trans women in the military are stronger or better or faster than women standing next to them, who cares, right? It doesn't matter. Stronger the better. So on that part, I think that is more controversial to me.
Wow, that's crazy. This boxing situation is crazy, bro. Man, if a dude was in there like hit my daughter, man, it's about like that. Nah, bro. I'm watching it now, like that, like on this side, like it's crazy, man.
I think it puts on full display the extent to which.
And the person forfeited because they couldn't take the beating that they were getting from the male boxer identified as a woman. Wow, this is crazy. You know, YouTube is like weird about showing stuff like that. This says the International Olympic Committee criticized the backlash against Khalif and her disqualification from last year's boxing championship, calling the decision arbitrary and without any due process. This is a female boxer whose gender identity has recently been questioned, won her first fight at the Paris Olympics on Thursday. Iman Khalif of Algeria defeated Angela Carini of Italy after Carini quit 46 seconds into the match. Carini stopped the fight after only a few punches were exchanged, avoided shaking Khalif's hand, and then fell to the floor in tears. Wow, I'm watching it now. That's crazy, bro.
He and the vast majority of Republicans aren't actually in this for legitimate reasons.
She trained all of her life, and they put her up against a man. Like, what? Well, but it says Khalif 25 has always competed as a woman, including during the Tokyo Olympics, and there's no indication that she identifies as transgender or intersex. The latter referring to people born with sex characteristics that do not fit strictly into the male-female gender binary. Carini says she ended Thursday's fight because she felt a severe pain in her nose. She added that she is not qualified to decide whether Khalif should have been allowed to compete or not. I'm not here to judge or pass judgment, Carini told reporters after the match. If an athlete is this way, and in that sense, it's not right, or it is right, it's not up to me to decide. Others were less reserved. We have to pay attention in an attempt to not discriminate that we're actually discriminating against women, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni told reporters during a visit to the Olympic Village. And these things, what counts is your dedication, your heart, and character, but it also counts having a parity of arms. Yo, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy.
They're just doing it to stoke panic about trans people because they recognize that as a culture war issue, it benefits them. Look, going back to Nancy Mace, you know, she explains on a weekly basis how she was the victim of sexual assault, including in this very previous segment with you. And yet, you know, and to that point, you know, I feel for her, and I think that's absolutely also awful. But she also breathlessly supports somebody like Donald Trump, who is an adjudicated rapist and who is credibly accused of sexual assault.
Dude, bruh. These Kamala men are insane.
By 26 different women. So the cognitive dissonance at play here, first of all, is incredible. But second of all, just with regard to Nancy Mace, with regard to Donald Trump, we know why they're doing this. Nancy Mace is not afraid of Sarah McBride chasing her into the bathroom. She's not. She wants to fundraise off this. She wants to be social media famous. She wants to be... Nancy Mace has more ambition to be famous online than every single member of
Doesn't mean
Jersey
she's wrong.
Shore
Doesn't mean
combined.
she's wrong.
It means that she's doing this to help herself, and she's not actually concerned about this issue.
Yeah, but Brian, come on, look.
Hey, Clarence, I agree with you, bro. Because women were pushing this. You said, I still say women feminist movement pushed this gay and trans movement. Women made this behavior acceptable. I think they were part of the reason. Like they pushed it, and now they want to like be against it.
And
hang on, Brian.
Geraldo's
A politician doing something to help themselves. If that was a criteria for why we shouldn't listen to them, we'd never have anybody to interview, right? So of course,
I get it, but that doesn't mean we can't call. That doesn't mean we can't call them out.
No, it doesn't mean I
when
can't call you out on the fact that she.
Self-concerned.
I don't think it makes her wrong. So it may be she has other vested interests, but it doesn't necessarily make her wrong.
Yeah.
If she was actually looking for a legitimate way forward, she would do exactly what Geraldo did, which is instead of beating the drum about this and vilifying Sarah McBride to the ends of the earth, this woman who has, by the way, operated with nothing other than class and grace since the moment she was elected to her position, she would have actually just sought a solution. But nowhere in the days and weeks of her, like doing the fainting couch spell, has she brought forward any single indication that she's willing to look for a solution? She hasn't said, let's get a different balance. She hasn't said
this is just crazy that the Democrats have caused all of these problems in America. I'm sorry. They have. Thug life. Y'all have caused so many problems. This is crazy, bruh. I cannot believe I was ever a Democrat, bro. Like, I'm out of my mind, man. There's no way. But as far as like the gender thing, I mean, me personally, you know, people can be like whoever they want to be, bro. Like if you feel like you identify a certain way, that's on you. You know what I mean? It's your life. It's not mine. I can't tell you how to live, man. That's how I feel about it. But I think they should have their own like sports. I don't think like that's not fair for girls. You know what I mean? Like 900 medals were awarded to like men and women's sports. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not fair for them. Like, if you train, like, you're not biologically going to be, I mean, maybe some women are biologically, like, stronger than men. I haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, like, China from the WWE or something like that. You know what I mean? But, like, other than that, like, it's a high probability, like, a man is going to be, like, naturally stronger than you. Like, so, I think they need to just have their own sports. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, why is that? Like, if y'all, like, so... You know what I mean? Pushing this, like, agenda, what y'all doing, like, just have y'all own sports to be proud of. Like, what's the problem with that? Like, that would be fair. You know, have y'all own bathrooms and then have y'all own sports. That would be fair. Like, that way, like, the women wouldn't have to be, like, subjected to that. And they would be, I feel like, you know, they can keep their... You know, like, women don't want to be changing in front of dudes and all. Like, come on, bruh. Unless it's they man or something like that. Like, this is crazy. Y'all are making America, like, unsafe.
That's the solution. You ban it. I mean, just bang. That's it.
calling for this one woman to not be able to use bathrooms.
The Democrats.
It's not one woman. It would be any. It's not one woman. It would be any transgender people who are in Congress.
This is an attack. This is an attack. Pierce, this is an attack.
And then it'd be like weirdos. Like, he's a weirdo, bro. Like, this dude is weird, man. Like, he be like fighting against like protecting people. Like, what is your problem? You so democratic, you don't see this as an issue? He probably ain't even got no kid. What is his name? He probably ain't got no kids. He looked like a dude like no girl like would mess with, bro. Like, he probably got no kids. Don't understand, like, you know, how a father would feel about all this. They're putting on his suit and his tie and getting in here and spewing this Democratic rhetoric. Like, this dude is out of his mind, bro. I don't care. He is.
Why she's doing this? Don't play dumb here. We know that this is because she.
But I don't think transgender women should be in women's spaces. So I agree with her.
She doesn't want to shower with a man while she's at work in the locker room.
I don't think so.
Y'all remember like when you was like in high school, like you had like for gym they made you take showers, and which I don't know why they did that. That was weird. Like, gym is weird, bro. Like, why was y'all making people take showers that didn't? You know what I'm saying? Like around dudes like that. That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm in gym. I'm like, what? I ain't about to be showering around all these dudes. Like, for what, bro? I'm just coming in here like, you ain't, we playing like dodgeball and then you making a shower. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, but they wouldn't make people do that. So just imagine, like, what they will make. Like, they make women do that too. And then, like, a natural born man like that identify, man, y'all is crazy, bro. Not y'all, like these Democrats. Like, I will pull my kid out of school, bro. Somebody said because not taking a shower is unhygienic. Bro, playing dodgeball, like, come on, bro. You barely broke a sweat and then like everybody getting in a shower. Like, man, I ain't getting in a shower with them dudes, bro. You crazy?
Is looking to shower next to Nancy Mace. And by the way, if any of these people were actually concerned, then they would all be
Rodney Newsom, exactly. Like, why is this situation a situation or even a question?
Their chest about what Donald Trump
because it's these Democrats, bro.
But nobody's concerned about it. Donald Trump is, as far as the courts go, as far as these accusations of sexual assault go, he is 10 to the nth degree.
Well, that's what I was like, because I mean, it be, bro, like they be having ringworms and like, you know, like all kind of like crazy. I ain't trying to be around all that. They be having fungus feet and all. Like, man, I ain't about to be like, man, get up out of here, bro. Like, well, you know, then you gonna get a bad grade in gym. I don't care. This is gym. You're not about to, like, you can't make me like strip. Like, get out of here. AWAC said I was weird in high school and the gym teacher made all the girls stand in front just to do jumping jacks. I mean, the gym teachers is weird, bro. Nobody knows said all this over a bathroom. Exactly. Mike Moret, like, just have like a unisex bathroom like we got, bro. Like, why is this a big issue? Women don't want like that. Like, they don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all got a problem? Like, you like this Democrat over here, like trying to force women, like, you gotta, like, get out of here, bro. Like, they don't want that, bro. They want to feel safe. He's like I'm sorry, bro. It's too weird, bro.
More dangerous than anybody like Sarah McBride, but of course nobody talks about him.
And you want to go in on a Nancy Mace. Like, why would you even like want, like, how do you got something bad to say about Nancy Mace? It's crazy. What did she say that was like so far out the realm of like normality? She didn't, like, this dude is ridiculous, bro.
It's politically convenient because he's part of their political party.
Okay, let me bring in Kevin Roberts from the Heritage Foundation as the president and the architect of the now infamous...
I might have to get off this video, man, because I'm getting mad, bro.
Project 2025. Kevin, good to see you here in London. You've obviously been, you were deemed so outrageously extreme that Donald Trump even distanced himself from Project 2025, said he never heard of it, which I found slightly unlikely. But you've taken a very strong view about things like...
Wicked Liquid said, then he goes to the Trump's dangerous BS. That's their only play. Exactly, man. And then meanwhile, we got like Biden trying to like give Ukraine authority to launch long-range U.S. missiles into Russia. And like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't... And he want to sit there, oh, Trump's danger. Like, yeah, this dude, like, these Democrats, bro, are insane right now. Right now, y'all is insane. You, not every Democrat, but you.
LGBTQ rights, abortion, and so on, a very, what many people believe to be a quite extreme conservative view of this. What is your view about where most Americans sit, though?
Most Americans, if they were listening to this discussion, would say that it's baseless and absurd to claim that this is an issue, the issue of a biological man wanting to be in a woman's space.
Bro, if you Vladimir Putin, bro, you like America is the softest country, bro. Like, they better not ever like tell me I can't do nothing, bro. Y'all crazy soft, bro. You know, Russians is hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they, you know what I mean? They don't be playing around. Like, America, man, it's a bunch of softies here, bro. America's a bunch of soft people, bro.
Is being normal. And it isn't just about one member of Congress. In fact, why don't you go ask the members of the volleyball teams in the Mountain West Conference who literally are under physical assault when a man spikes the volleyball against them, so much so that they apolitically, peers, decide they're going to boycott all of these games at the expense of their own careers. Ask Riley Gaines, ask Paula Scanlon, who had to compete against a biological man. Ask Chloe Cole, one of the famous detransitioners, who speaks so eloquently about the pain as a human of going through this transition, which of course is propelled by the kind of nonsense.
Hey, AWAX59, I see a comment. He said, yo, Piper Boy, I'm not gonna lie. Since Trump been elected, the supermarket dropped the prices on food dramatically. Facts from a month ago. Yeah, I did like go to Publix and I noticed like food was a little bit cheaper. But you know, I think they gonna keep him kind of up and slowly bring him down before he gets in. You know what I mean? Like try to get as much profit as they can before he gets in. But I see that. You know what I mean? I thought I was going crazy, but it's funny that you ended up mentioning that. Because they know when Trump get in there, he not playing, bro.
Transgender ideology industry puts on them. So all of that to say.
And then that was like, all right, so somebody just made a really good comment, right? Renee in the comment section said, why won't they have a trans bathroom? Period. In this discussion. Because the Democrats don't want that, bro. Like they want to continue to try to vilify people for common sense. Like that makes sense. Build another bathroom. Just make it like that.
To answer your question directly.
Like this what I would, you know what I'm saying? Be like, all right, male, female, trans female. End of story. You know what I'm saying? But companies are probably gonna be like, I don't want to build another bathroom. That's expensive. You know, so it's like, I don't know. This is crazy. What's up, Rodney Newsom? This is literally insanity, bro.
The culture war always comes to our doorstep. This isn't some fabrication of the radical right or conservatives. This is something that is real. It's real in the military. It's real for those of us who have daughters at home and are in these public spaces. And God bless Donald Trump for drawing a line in the sand, Congresswoman Mace for doing the same. This is saying something this radical, peers. Men are men and women are women. Welcome back to normal.
And it's like, it was funny he said that, bro. That's literally radical right now. Saying that is radical. America is literally a mental ward, bro. This is like a asylum. America is like some kind of weird asylum. True American said it's a compromise. Rodney Newsom said, try asking a normal person about all these questions. King Smurf said they already have a family bathroom and most stores just go in there. No, but they don't want to go in there. They want to go in the woman's bathroom. Like,
yeah, I mean, Geraldo, the point, I guess, is that President Trump, with the thumping scale of his win, you know, when you win the popular vote, the Electoral College, the Senate, the House of Representatives, the White House, when you have a clean sweep, you get to do what you want, and you get to do what you said you were going to do. Are you just turn to that election result for a minute, because you had, like me, we had our option.
She is good looking to be like older. I ain't gonna even lie, bro. This lady look good as she look good, bro.
Down to Trump over the years, but as in the run up to the election, you were very clear you could not vote for this guy. And were you surprised that he won in such an emphatic way?
I was shocked by the depth and breadth of his victory. I also was...
And then let's keep it real, bro. I don't know if y'all want, like, a lot of these congressmen and senators and stuff, they like that. You know what I'm saying? And so they keep this stuff up, bro.
Somewhat chagrined, looking in the mirror at how ineffective I was in terms of...
You ever heard like a male like congressman talk? Like, you know, they like that, bro.
Communicating how important it was that he violated our Constitution on January 6th.
Also, I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott,
of any platform.
stop. It's too early.
No, I don't think I agree with him most of the time. I don't think X is like balanced. I don't think it is. I think it's more unless it's just my For You page, right? I don't think it's balanced at all. I think it's like Republican bias, but then it could be my For You page. I'm Republican. You see what I'm saying? But all I see, like, I've got like 2 Twitters. Like one, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like for whatever, bro. Like, so I could like see everybody that got me blocked. But that one I don't really be, but it's still like Republican bias. So I don't know, man.
I just sat down. I've only been here for 2 minutes. You cannot continue to say
the show, but
you
it's
cannot
true.
say that.
So-
So that's the case.
So
Who's the source?
what I find, we reported it on this network.
It's not accurate, and you know it.
This really gets.
Okay. Party ID among those who regularly use X, Twitter for news. Democrats 65% in 2022, 2024 48%, GOP 31%, GOP 47%.
Look at this. The party ID among.
So, you know, I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all think that's real? Like, what does y'all Twitters look like? Y'all X accounts. Do y'all see a lot of Democrat, Republican, or balanced? I don't think that's balanced at all, bro. I don't care what them numbers say. Like, what I see, but then, like, again, I said it could be my For You page. You know, it's just Republican, conservatives. You know, but when you got Elon Musk, who's conservative right now, you know, like crazy heavy traction off of every tweet, man, that's gonna help tip the scales, the Libra scales. Tim Hart said there's a 10% difference. And then MKR said these are the same people that can't answer the what is a woman question, but they have to use the woman's bathroom. This is brain rot. America is brain rot, bro. Gaddafi says I don't even use X. A lot of people don't even use X, which is interesting. Like, my girl don't even use X. I'd be like, yo, go on Twitter. Like, because she be trying to show me things on TikTok that I seen like a week ago on X. I'm like, you might need to go on X, because that way you'll be able to see like what's going on, because you're getting a lot of stuff late. And she's refusing to go on X. I don't know why. I think she just don't like the platform. She's Republican, but I think she just don't like the platform for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Morality was someone who quit because he said that he couldn't control his job was to regulate Twitter. He could not control Elon Musk because Elon Musk didn't want it to be regulated. He wanted it to be the world in which it is right now.
Well, the problem with you Democrats is that you guys controlled Twitter, like with the Twitter files. Like, they were like suspending like Republican people's accounts and, you know, like slowing the traffic to their tweets and doing all of that stuff for money through the Twitter files. You know, so he made it to where it's not like that anymore. You know, and maybe it could be a situation where maybe people were conservative all along and you just couldn't see it, you know, when it was democratically controlled. You know, maybe that's what it is, you know, to why it just looks different now. But, you know, it does seem like Twitter for me is like right-leaning. Steve said only social media I have is YouTube. Negro Grow said it's simple enough. If you stand to pee, use the men's room.
Which is a cesspool, as your wife said. She's a brilliant woman.
She is.
Tell her I said hello.
Thank you. I will.
I think the impulse to restrict speech is a slippery slope, but a dangerous one. More speech is better.
Is it really? Okay.
But do you think
Got
so?
it.
You actually think that X is the place of free speech?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah, it is. It is definitely the place of free speech. Like, you can get on there and bully people and ain't none. You know, like, I got like 20,500 followers on Twitter, right? If I decide to get mad at somebody, I could just bully them all day long on Twitter and it ain't nothing nobody can do about it. You see what I'm saying? If I felt like doing it, you know, which I don't do stuff like that. You know, I did, you know what I mean? But I don't do stuff like if I don't like you, like really don't like you, and you've been like publicly on social media, on Twitter, like saying like crazy stuff, like then I could choose to do that, but I don't do it. But I see a lot of people like they just pick a Democrat and just bully them like all day long. You know what I mean? And some Democrats like pick a Republican and just bully them all day long. But it's like it's a lot of freedom of speech. Like freedom of speech, I feel you have to have responsibility with freedom of speech, just like in real life. You know, you can't be screaming like, oh, I'm about to, you know what I mean, up the place and like going crazy like in a store or something like that. Like should be arrested for that. So I think like certain things, you know, even with social media, I think it should have like its checks and balances with freedom of speech. But I don't think everything needs to be like taken down and, you know what I'm saying, like low key, like how it's been under the Biden-Harris regime. Like I don't like that. You know, I think that's too restrictive. And then we even heard people from The View saying that, you know, social media needs to be restricted in terms of like, they don't think that regular people should be given news, you know, and I feel like, you know, sometimes I feel like we should be doing the news. And then other times I feel like, you know, it is a lot of misinformation and fake news that goes on Twitter. There's a lot of it, you know, but then y'all like The View, y'all like fake. You know, y'all like one side left leaning. Like, so it's, you know, CNN is like left leaning. They got to say anything negative they can about the Republicans. Fox News is going to say anything negative that they can about the liberals. So it's like, you really can't win. The only thing I could hope for is that whatever news source I'm looking for is giving me like factually correct news. You know what I mean? And freedom of speech, you know, I don't know, man. Because it's like this lady where I see the dangers of, right? Like, let me see. What's her name, bro? Because she be getting on my nerve. Like, Elon Musk be, like, retweeting her. Hold on. Where's my home, bro? She like this Asian lady, right? And Elon Musk, Tiffany Fong, she is a regular person, right? And Elon just want to clap them cheeks, bro. That's all it is, right? So he be like retweeting her and commenting on her stuff. And so people are literally looking at her word as law now. And she just a regular person that got lucky that Elon Musk thinks she cute. You know, so she gets like crazy traction or whatever. And I've seen people like even on like YouTube videos refer to her posts. And it's like, yo, this a regular girl that Elon likes. You know, and people think that her word is law. It's not. You know, and then she slips up and she does some things that's not right. And they're like, oh, was she just a regular person that got lucky? You know, so it's like you gotta, like on Twitter, you gotta be careful about who you get your, I mean, anywhere you gotta be careful about where you get your news. But there is, I feel like, freedom of speech on Twitter that is unregulated. You know what I mean? It's regulated, but it's not like other social media companies to where they're a little bit stricter. Like you can't get on TikTok and just straight up bully somebody. You can in certain instances. Like this girl I know, she bullies Gypsy Rose. Y'all know who Gypsy Rose is? It's the girl that unalived her mom. Like that girl, Gypsy Rose. She went to jail. She got out of jail. She ended up marrying a dude, Ryan, and then like she left him for her old ex Ken. Well, this girl I know, she be bullying her like on TikTok, and TikTok won't do nothing about it. And Gypsy Rose has been like, you know what I'm saying, like reporting her and everything, but they won't do nothing about it. They just allowing her to bully her. But like regular people, like you can't do stuff like that on. I mean, she was regular, you know what I'm saying? But I guess since Gypsy Rose went back and forth with her, they just let like that fly. But like anybody else, like on Twitter, I keep saying Twitter, but TikTok, they will like, they take your audio, they'll take your video, they'll, you know, if you get a little bit close to the guidelines, they'll do something like that. But Twitter just lets you just do anything, bro. Like it's crazy on Twitter.
I think, I mean, I don't know why you would argue otherwise. Is it not?
Okay.
I think before he took it over, it was not a great place for conservatives, and now it's a great place for everybody. My view.
Okay. All right, guys, so we got to talk about the continued meltdown in the mainstream liberal media over Elon Musk joking about buying X, except everybody knows that low-key it's not really a joke because Elon Musk has shown before that he is willing to purchase these liberal platforms and to turn them into neutral platforms, which is something that scares the left to death, right? They're scared to death.
So like what he's doing, right? Black conservative perspective, I think is responsible because he's saying like Elon Musk is joking about this. But you will get people on Twitter like, oh, Elon Musk is definitely buying MSNBC. Like, and you will see like 30,000 retweets and 100,000 likes, and it's not what he just joking around about it. You know, and people take like a lot of things for law on Twitter, and it's not, bro.
Of neutral platforms, okay? And that's essentially
I got an account on Rumble, but Rumble kind of boring, bro. I don't even go on Rumble.
Going to be the whole point of this video, as this CNN panel is going to melt down.
Negro said, if you can't handle being bullied on Twitter, then just don't say nothing. Did you why'd your comment disappear? Did you do that, or is somebody like making your comment disappear? Like, let me know. But on Twitter, I don't know. I mean, you could not even say nothing bad, and people would just like decide to put like, all right, so hold on. So I'm like low key. I'm not going viral, but my tweet is starting to move, right? So Hip Hop All Day said Kendrick Lamar's GNX is now the #1 highest rated rap album of 2024 with a score of 91 on Metacritic. It is currently ranking as the 3rd best rap album of the entire decade by critics. So what I said was, I have literally heard no one driving around playing this. I ain't talking to nobody else. I just posted that. Look at all these bully comments, bro. I don't even know these people, and they on here like trying to bully me, for my opinion. I'm ignoring them. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that happens a lot. You know what I mean? So it depends, man. Like, but Twitter, I feel like it needs a little bit more oversight. It does, bro. Me, I don't mind, because I've been a blogger for like 8 years and on social media for like 10 years. You know, I've blogger for 9 years, been on social media for like 10 years. So me, it don't, I mean, I'm talking about it. It seem like it bothers me. It don't. I be trolling too, you know, but some people, like, they get on that platform and people, they will just, bro, I've seen people get doxxed on Twitter and they just don't care. Like, they just let it rock. Like, Twitter is like, now I see like what they saying. Like, I mean, it's a lot of things I like about X, you know, but it is low key dangerous, bro. Bro, they got, man, there's so much stuff on it. Like, if depending on what you look at, like X can look like the dark web in some situations. You know what I'm saying? So it depends, bro. Tim Hart said, I called BS. Nee said, I deleted it, wanted to say something else. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure nobody, like, if some, like a moderator or something is removing a comment, then, you know, I want it to be worth removing. But like, you know, I ain't think you said nothing too crazy. And then he said they call it bullying and others call it constructive criticism. Nah, when you sitting up there calling somebody a effing you know what I mean? Like RETARD. When you saying stuff like that, like, and you just, like, it's lines. You know what I mean? Like, I'll see like AOC post something and there'll be people saying the most crazy thing. Bro, then they'll be like making AI of her, like, you know what I'm saying, naked. They'll be doing crazy stuff on Twitter and they just let it rock. And it's just like, it's crazy, bro. Like, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? I see like what people are talking about.
Trigger over Elon Musk.
But I'll pick Twitter over a lot of different platforms, but I do recognize like they've got a big problem like with allowing like disinformation and then like a lot of bullying on Twitter. They do.
Joking about buying MSNBC, and this conversation really shows you how deranged and delusional the left really is when it comes to free speech, when it comes to what they feel is fair and what they feel is not fair, right? If a platform is not 100% rigged in their favor, then they feel like it's an attack on them, right? And it's just hilarious. It really is. It's hilarious to watch these people fearmonger and the boohoo, whine, and cry when they're clearly not living.
He said boohoo, whine, and cry.
In the same reality as everybody else when it comes to how they view the social media and the media landscape in general. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I think that we should believe everything that is said coming from this administration. I don't think that we have the luxury to dismiss it as him being someone who's being funny or someone who is just being himself or that is his brand. X, and you said in some ways, always. I feel like X, I don't know if anyone is on it in any capacity. I don't know if you're on it. And you're the only one? You're on it? You all are on it? Okay. I've actually decided to take a rest of peace because it is not a peaceful place for me. And I know if, in fact, you don't agree with this current administration, most people can say that it's not a peaceful place. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an actual bid made to take on MSNBC, but the fact that it just can't happen in real life.
And we
It
just can't.
It's not even
for sale.
Yeah, it's not officially for sale.
The last
It's not
time he
even
mused
realistic
about maybe buying something,
It's not even realistic in real life.
Actually, it is realistic. It is very realistic. Your ratings are down, and they're thinking about like offloading it or selling it to like a prospective like buyers. They are. That is really going on. I don't care how much makeup you got on, how straight your hair is. Like, you not like telling the truth right now. Like, they are really considering it. And there's like a couple of billionaires that's is one billionaire that's actually thinking about like, you know, purchasing it if they go ahead and like get rid of it. You know, so like this lady, she out of her mind, bro.
I do believe that media, everyone sitting here at this table, if you don't agree, we're in for some tough years ahead. I do believe that we are not going to be able to be as safe or say what we want to. I don't think free speech is going to be as free.
Now, Scott, I want to bring you in here.
Wow. Look at Scott Jennings' face.
Yeah.
This is definitely going in the thumbnail, by the way. Right? Because Scott Jennings be making these faces where it's like, yeah, these people don't know what the hell they're talking about, right? He's confused. Bro. I'm confused. This woman literally just said, under the Trump administration, free speech is not going to be as free. When we quite literally just got out of the most authoritarian administration that we've ever seen.
I feel like under the Biden and Harris, bro, I feel like social media is treating us like we in China. That's how I feel. Like, you really got to like, I mean, it's times I like want to say stuff and I'm like, you know what I mean? And I got to stop what I'm saying because I'm like, you know, like on these different platforms, bro, like it ain't, bro, I feel like we in China. Like, she crazy. Like, Biden Harris got all these social media companies, or at least a lot of them, shook. Once they seen what they did with TikTok, like enacted legislation to force the sale of TikTok. If you are a social media company that's got heavy influence, you're going to play ball because you don't want to be in that situation. Right? So that's why they be like super hammering down on anybody that says anything against the left normally. It be feeling like that, bro. I didn't feel like that when Trump was in office. I felt like people could say whatever they wanted to say. Bro, even Twitter deplatformed a sitting president. Because they could just do it. You know what I mean? Like, let somebody try that now under Biden and Harris and deplatform Biden or Harris. Like, and see what will happen. Like, let's be real.
See, when it comes to free speech, I realize that liberals and conservatives are living in two completely different worlds, right? The difference is that conservatives are living in actual reality and liberals are just living in cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world, right? I'm so serious, okay? I'm so serious about that. And I'm not saying
exactly. Chanel Schaefer said, you can't even say stuff like that. Like, if you notice on my content, I never say that. You can't. So it's like, it's crazy, bro. Like, what has become social media?
Pete Buttigieg, he has a different message about.
So it says, if you censored host after dropping truth. Let's listen.
Moving forward. Take a look.
We cannot.
You can say certain things, like if you got so many. They say you can't, but I feel like, right? If you've got a lot of subscribers, the reason why I was like so intent on getting 100,000 subscribers, because I felt like restrictions would loosen up.
Mesmerized.
You know what I mean? It's just what I felt like. You know what I mean? But like these people that got 1 million subscribers, like look at this dude's title. I don't know if y'all can see the title. It says, if you censors host after dropping truth. I can't post that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't like put that in my title, you know, or it would be like limited. But this dude got 1.3 million subscribers. So he can like, I feel like they may think that ain't the case, But like some of these titles that they be using and different people, you know, you gotta, if you're a creator, you gotta think. You see what I'm saying? But when you got over 1 million subscribers, it's kind of like, like they're money generators. You know, every like blog they drop or video they drop, reaction they drop, whatever they doing 2, 3, 4, 500, 700,000 views. That's a lot of money being generated. You know, so versus like somebody at me, I got 36,000 views on this video. You know what I'm saying? Hit the likes, you know what I'm saying, so we can push this out. So, you know, like I feel like if you're not like 1 million subscriber plus type channel or like Mr. Beast or something crazy, you got to be careful about what you do.
By the worst things that we see happening, we will be inclined to react with shock by some things which are done precisely with the intent of shocking us. We need to move very quickly through the shock.
You say get that plaque. I want that one. I got the silver one. I want that one. I want that gold one.
And condemnation into identifying what exactly has to be done. And that requires a more tactical mentality.
And they're also saying a lot of Americans still are overcoming the shock by taking a breather over the holidays and planning to get back in the game after January 20th, which is something I've been saying for, I don't know, the past 7, 8, 9 months. Because you don't ever know what's going to happen with an election. You can hope and plan, and when stuff goes down, you got to make a decision. We're not going to know jack until January 20th, until he's in. You're not going to know what's going to happen. And is no point, in my opinion, is no point in working yourself into a lather over it. I don't know if you agree, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to yell at the TV until I know what I'm yelling about.
Well, it's been exhausting being that, Donald Trump has been running since 2022 again. So watching this campaign cycle, it felt like it lasted way longer than anything ever should. And then for some of us, we didn't win this election, what we wanted. That was a resistance, and then the votes come in. Right now, I think everyone's not only exhausted from politics, the holidays are a beautiful thing, but they're also a heavy thing for a lot of people. And so we're heading into a place where you need a refilled tank.
She ain't lying, bro. Think about this, y'all. People are like stressing out right now about buying food for Thanksgiving. And then like right after Thanksgiving, because, people may have like big families and stuff like that. And then right after Thanksgiving, you moving into Christmas. And meanwhile, like groceries is still like high. I feel like the cost is coming down a little bit, but it's still like because Trump is coming in office. That's how I feel, right? Don't mean this fact. This is how I feel. Maybe in my particular store, they running different things. You know what I'm saying? Like the store I go to, you know what I mean? Or the couple stores I go to. But people are like looking like, man, like we just... we spending all this money, like it's been crazy expensive the last 4 years, and then now we moving into the Christmas. Like people, they thinking, man, like about their wallets now. Like even my girl, she went and she got like Thanksgiving food, and she was like, man, the cost is crazy. She's like, next time we eat now, so.
Deal with anything you're dealing with, whether it's grief, loss, or the happy parts as well. And then I think you have to think about what the action of that resistance looks like when things are actually done. Arguably, Matt Gaetz was a resistance because the public scrutiny of that and all of the coverage of that, even Matt Gaetz said when he resigned, this became too big of a distraction. That was resistance. It may just not look like what everyone's thinking it is.
He didn't resign because he was a distraction. He resigned because he wasn't going to get confirmed. This does feel different than 2016. In 2016, at this time, the Women's March was being planned. That began getting planned the election night, and it began with a Facebook post of a housewife in Hawaii, and it turned into millions of women.
All right, all y'all women in here, I want to ask y'all a question, right? A real question, thug life, right? Do y'all like having to work like men? Because these people push like women's lib, right? Is what they're doing. I want y'all to be like on the same plane as men, like with different things. And some people feel like, yeah, it should be equal. I just want to know what the women in here think. Would y'all rather like it to where the man was working and y'all can be just like chilling with your friends, like at the pool, going out over your friend's house, cooking with your friend, like and all the bills and everything was taken care of by the man, and y'all could just live y'all life and wouldn't have to spend 40 hours in an office or a warehouse or a customer service, or, you know what I mean? Like, do y'all like working is what I'm asking. Because these people are pushing y'all into, you know what I'm saying? They seem like advocates for this. Somebody said at least the gas is low right now. They always bring gas prices down right before the election, so y'all forget, because people have short memories. Like, they got Americans down to a science. People have super short memories, bro. Like, they forgot, like, interest rates was like 7%. Like, they forgot that it's difficult to own, you know what I mean? Like, to buy a house right now. Like, they will forget everything, like, come to election time. So gas prices will be high right before election, they go down. This happens, like, all the time, bro. At least from what I've seen. You know, so I don't know. And then people are like, well, gas is low, but you don't remember how much it was like 6 months ago, or the year before that, or the year before that, or the year before that. You see what I'm saying? People forget. And that was part of the reason why I bought a Tesla, because I didn't want to keep paying for high gas prices.
I mean, marching all over the country.
Mafia said, I like having a job as a woman. It should be 50-50 split for all responsibility. Chanel said, cooking and cleaning, tending to my family, that's a full-time, lifelong job. Yeah, and then, like, I mean, I ain't got a problem. Like, if I have a girl, bro, and she wants to, like, not work, but she's gonna cook, clean, take the kids to, you know what I'm saying, practices, do all of that stuff, I'll buy you a car. You know what I'm saying? I take care of all the bills. And she ain't like the type of woman that want to, like, be, you know, arguing all the time. Like, yeah, I do all that. I don't see a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, I think, you know what I mean? I think men are supposed to be providers. That's why I feel like. But maybe I'm wrong, because it'd be like women fighting against that. They'd be like, nah, like, dudes need to, no, we need to work just like y'all. And then they be on TikTok crying. Like, why y'all, like, we gotta work and we gotta do this, and I don't feel like going to work, and I just want to go to, you know what I'm saying, the Pottery Barn and chill, and, like, but I gotta go to work. And, like, then they start crying about it. Like, y'all fighting against y'all interests, if that's what y'all want to do. But some people do feel like, hey, I just want to work. Boundless said, I wish I didn't have to work so much. I'm not trying to compete with my husband. My body wasn't built for that type of labor. Alicia Ill said, yeah, working is a good way to get out and do things, and some women like to help the men out. If you are happy in your relationship, I feel like the women like to spend their money on their man. And then Chanel said, don't let this generation ruin you. They do not even know what a woman is. Britt said, Twitter can be terrible, but it's imperative we have a space that we can speak freely. Mela said, I don't know who the woman on the show that represent. I'm good with sharing the household responsibilities equal. Alicia said, but don't get me wrong, the man is the man of the house, and they are the ones who bring in the bacon, but it's still nice for women to have their own money and to be able to buy them something. Okay.
The day after the inauguration.
For no reason.
I think, look, we're all 8 years older. I think a lot of us are still apoplectic that America voted against.
Mafia said, women like to feel rewarded for their work, whether it's taking care of a family or in the office setting. I think taking care of a family is difficult too. Like, that's a big job, bro. You got to keep up with everything.
A qualified woman again,
They're
and
so
put
shocked.
in, you know, this racist, misogynist, and they don't care. And so it's like, so it's tiring. It is exhausting.
Leave.
It is disappointed. I think this election cycle was an emotional roller coaster, right? We had Joe Biden, the debate, 2 assassination attempts, Kamala coming in and running hard, leaving it all on the field for 100.
How crazy is this though? Like, y'all, like, am I missing something, right? Kamala Harris running for president. Like, who chose her? Like, we didn't have no say in that. I don't feel like we had a say in that. Like, that was the crazy part. Like, who is you, bro? Like, you just running for president. Like, who picked you? Like, that was crazy to me. Yeah.
107 days. And then we thought she was going to win, like we did with Hillary in 2016, and she didn't. So I think people are exhausted. I think they are looking at...
But, like, can I say that? I think men want a woman. Like, men don't... I mean, American women, like... This doesn't sound, like, real messed up. Like, men don't... Like, men like feminine women. You know what I'm saying? That's not, like, trying to, like... argue and like trying to be the man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like, once a woman gets like that, I don't want nothing to do with her. That's me. You know what I mean? Yeah, you go work and like do all that, but then it's like, you know, a lot of men can't cook. Some of them can, some of them can't, right? But if you say, you know, would you mind making me something to eat? Well, I've been working all day too. Like, but you choosing to work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like when they get like that, I don't want nothing to do with them, bro. You like, and then like if you working all the time, you're gonna be like, oh well, I'm working and I'm cooking and cleaning and I'm doing the dishes and all that. You see what I'm saying? That's why I think working becomes a problem, like with a lot of different things. So it's like, wait, so then I'm gonna have to get like a maid. And so I got a girl and I gotta have somebody like a house cleaner and somebody to cook. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like, to think about. Like, America is so crazy, bro. Like, we don't even realize. Like, when I went to Switzerland, like, it's so different over there, man. Like, it's like they believe in like the roles. You know what I mean? Like how like family dynamics, how they're supposed to be. America is like, they have pushed women to want to be men, bro. But some women, like somebody in the comments said, they just want to get out the house and feel productive in doing what they do. Some women like their jobs, you know, and they feel like, you know, they're contributing to society, whatever they're doing, you know, or contributing to the household, whatever they're doing, you know, and they don't mind, like, you know, taking on the feminine role. Like, some women are like that. You know what I mean?
You know, taking care of themselves before they take care of America, right? I gotta breathe.
All right, I've heard enough. Whoopi Goldberg, I can tell you what's finna happen.
She had the only logical statement today.
Whoopi?
Yeah, Whoopi.
I ain't gonna lie,
She said, let's not get up here and get our panties in the wad over everything he does, because we don't know what he's gonna actually do until he gets in there.
I know what's gonna happen.
I want to hear what
with
she got
this
to say.
because we know that 9 out of 10 black women voted for Kamala Harris, and that historically black women are sort of the backbone of the Democratic Party, right? And so 92%.
The biggest dumb. And I'm sorry.
Hold on, real quick. I want to pull up a stat.
Hey, that's actually wrong. No. No, actually, guys. No, I'm not gonna say the joke we heard.
Hold on.
The joke we heard.
That's
on
80%.
Hey, bro, should I mention the joke?
That joke was hilarious. No, don't mention that joke. Let it ride.
Okay, bro. No, I just got it. We said it already. We got to say it.
Let it ride.
I gotta watch them because sometimes they say a lot of bad words. I don't want to be pulling that out. Once they, you know, they start talking and stuff, they start saying bad words.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, you know, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
This lady is something else, bro.
Yeah.
A little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, you know, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling? It's crazy, bro. Like, she is a nut job, bro.
My friend.
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children.
I don't know, man. Let's see what Amala talking about. Shout out to Amala. Sometimes Amala be on point, sometimes she don't. Let's see what she's talking about.
New leaks indicate that The View is in the process of being canceled. Now, this comes on the heels of a lot of different problems with the
Wait, you got this news from a tweet?
new leaks indicate.
Amala, come on, like, yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like, Amala, nah, like, Local said what? Claims Sonny and not all Spanish were slaveholders either. Alicia said, no, I agree. A man does the man job and a woman does the woman job 100%. Yes, just stay home, mom. A woman keeping the house clean, dishes, cooking. Like, bro, like women's lib needed to get passed for the establishment to control things better, right? Because if the woman was at home and they could like have time to homeschool kids, like public schools wouldn't be able to really indoctrinate. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a reason why I feel like women's lib was really pushed. That's just my personal opinion, but you know, who knows, right?
Indicates that The View is in the process of being canceled. Now, this comes on the heels of a lot of different problems with The View. They're constantly being criticized by folks like us, by independent media. They really are kind of the laughing stock of, what do you even call them? News commentary, I guess is what these women are at this point. I think some of them would have the audacity to refer to themselves as journalists, and that really says all that you need to know about The View. What The View has become is kind of like we hear news the day before and we go.
She is right. They're like the laughing stock now, bro. Subscribe to her channel. Hit the like button. I'm about to hit the like button on her. You said Amala is my. She looked like my daughter a little bit. Alicia Ill said, no, I disagree. A man does the man job and a woman does the woman's job 100%. Yes, just stay home. Okay.
I can't wait to see the women on The View freak out about this. And I can't wait to hear the ridiculous opinions that they share on the other end of this. Now, with that.
Yeah, exactly. The real Flapjack Stack said we used to call it daytime TV.
We have Whoopi Goldberg, who recently accused a Staten Island bakery of political discrimination against her because she didn't get her initial cake order filled by the bakery, although they put in the second one when she didn't put her name on it. Now, this Staten Island bakery has come out and say, we were not discriminating against you. We had a boiler breakdown at our bakery. This has nothing to do with you, baby girl. And it seems like they might be taking legal action against Whoopi Goldberg on the other end of this. Sunny Hostin has now become Sunny Legal Note Hostin, as she has been just
She is right about that.
spouting off lies and in some cases propaganda on her show and being corrected expeditiously, so much so that they are interrupted in the middle of the show and she has to share a legal note. Let's roll the clip.
How could you nominate someone with allegations of child trafficking across state lines and having sex with a 17-year-old? My understanding further on in the interview, they discussed the fact that once he finds out that she's 17, he stops having sex with her.
Oh, God. Everything in the world is about the S word, bro. This is crazy. Y'all notice that? Like, people are really pervy, bro. Like, people in general, man. Like, every little thing, movies. Like, that's all y'all talk about, bro.
Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed.
Why is she reading the legal note like that? Like she don't believe the legal note. Like, come on, Sonny, bro. You wildin'.
No charges being brought.
She's pissed. She's pissed. Thank you, Whoopi. I will read the legal note. It's just, oh my gosh, yeah, she's clearly so over it. And this is like, how many times in a week have you had to do this? Here's another clip of her getting yet another legal note on the show.
Oh, sorry. Legal note. I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations.
Yeah, we ain't about to play no music.
From now on.
Yeah, we ain't playing music.
they do, they kind of get these like lukewarm conservatives who are in no way, shape, or form a representation of the conservative set of beliefs, and they kind of just like bow down to these four women and just agree or choose not to give the differing argument or opinion on some of the stories that they're covering. So it's just unfortunate what the View has become, and they weren't always this way. They weren't always, you know, the Legal Note View, where they were so blinded by not even their ideology, but their hatred of people who disagree with them. It's the same thing with MSNBC. It's not that you disagree with me. It's that you hate the fact that I disagree with you.
The View has been dealt another humiliating blow after host Sunny Hostin was forced to read a legal note live on air for the third time in a week. Teeth.
Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented.
I mean, if somebody paying you $8 million a year, you know, you're gonna do whatever they tell you to do. Let's see what she's talking about. It says Democrats are destroying us in Chicago. Women goes off on Charlemagne, Roland Martin, and Steve Harvey. Like, they are the biggest panderers. Like, Charlemagne the God, Steve Harvey is. I don't think any man like rocks with Steve Harvey, bro.
At this point, this is who needs to get canceled. We need to cancel D.L. Hughley. We need to cancel Roland Martin. We need to cancel Steve Harvey. We need to cancel Plass. Everybody who tried to lead us into a burning building. We're Chicago Red. We are all over the media, all over everywhere. This is what we are going through, telling our story. Jessica Jackson telling how the Democrat Party is stealing people's property. Zoe Lee, time and time again, we have been on every council meeting talking about, showing how the Democrat Party, especially in Chicago, is stealing black people property, how they're putting all these...
Tim, no, like, Steve Harvey do not ride with us, bro. He be against us a lot. Like, what are you talking about, Steve? Come on. I'm sorry, Tim. Like, come on, bro. Steve be against us, man. He be snitching on us. He be taking the women's side for every little thing. Like, nah, bro. He is not for us at all.
Niggas in our neighborhood pushing us out of our homes and giving them all the resources, all on the backs of trying to tax us. We didn't vote for these people, but we have to suffer the consequences of people who vote just blue no matter who. We got to suffer the consequences of their actions and their uneducated actions because they choose.
Yeah, and Chicago is definitely suffering the consequences now. With that mayor taking $80,000 of taxpayer money to rebuild an office space for, you know, or redecorate an office space for his wife, you know, he ran on not raising property taxes, and then he tried to raise property taxes by $300 million. Like, this dude is crazy, bro.
To use identity politics, and because they choose to use race to get people in office, all while knowing that they're not qualified and knowing that this is going to be the detriment to the black community. Now, Roland Martin prides himself on being a black journalist and having a black news, you know, a black journalist and whatever, a media company, black media company. D.L. Hughley prides himself on, you know, being a black man with a black radio. Steve Harvey. Now, Chicago Flips Red have been in the meetings. We have been going, everybody has been going.
Yeah, you see Miss Jackson, she went to a lot of those, like, council meetings and all that.
Viral. From just us going and showing what we're going through. We have been going viral. And everybody, from the YouTubers, number one YouTubers, the Fox News, all the news station, they're covering us. Ask me this. You all don't find it strange that not one, Roland Martin, you on YouTube, not one of these people have asked Chicago Flips Red to come and talk about what's going on. We are black people talking about black issues, talking about what's really going on in our neighborhood, talking about everything we are going through far as being taxed out of our homes are being taken, stolen, and they're putting illegals all in our neighborhood, pushing us out.
That is seriously a problem that's going on right now. Shout out to Thizzle Young. He is a channel member. He said that mayor, bruh, is crazy. That mayor is insane. Britt said when he wrote "Think Like a Man," he drew the line in the sand.
This is what we have been screaming. This is what we are shouting on the rooftop.
Steve Harvey
This is
crazy.
what we are fighting for. We have an idiot Mohawk wearing Mayor Brandon Johnson who don't care. Yes, he's black and he's a Democrat.
And you know what? She's absolutely right.
She going
Let me
off.
just tell you, I had her on my show. I had her on my morning show, and she's absolutely telling the truth. She's 100%. Shout out to Danny. Danielle is her name, and I'm going to definitely link her back in the description of the video because I want y'all to really understand what these people is going through, and I'm a heavy supporter. And see, isn't it funny how they don't have ulterior or alternative opinions from other black people that are experiencing the very thing that they're pushing them on? And I'm talking about the Steve Harveys, the Ricky Smileys, the D.L. Hugleys, the Joy Reeds, Roland Martin, all of the people that accepted payments from Kamala Harris because they were getting, well, not even just say Kamala Harris, from the Democratic Party, because they're basically getting paid to push oppression and to push the plantation mentality that comes from the Democrats on you. Meanwhile, none of them will ever in any way, shape, or form have any of these people, including Charlemagne, will have any of these people that's actually on the ground in the streets, that's losing their homes, suffering, got businesses, are successful, husbands, wives, they are part of the police departments and all of that. The police don't support them and all of that. But meanwhile, they'll sit here and push this nonsense on you when you have people that are directly in the fight showing you on camera at the city council meetings. So you're telling me that these people don't deserve some visibility? They don't deserve to have their story told? At the very least, you can debate them and say, okay, well, how are things going? Well, you know what? I don't believe what you're saying. They're in the midst of it. They're in the fight. They actually dealing with one of the
Chanel said they all playing the money game, like Steve said.
bluest cities that basically is going bankrupt, that is facing $1 billion one-year budget deficit and has been in a deficit perpetually every single year, even during the pandemic. They've been in a budget deficit.
Gaddafi said, my sisters and mothers shocked that I wasn't with Democrats. When they said on The View that like 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 black women voted for Kamala Harris. I mean, I don't know what the real statistics is on that, but I kind of agree with them, bro, because it's like almost every time I see a black woman, unless it's like on social media, like him or somebody posting it to where they're Republican black women. But for the most part, whenever I see black women, bro, like they in real life, like they was voting for Kamala.
While at the same time funding and giving hundreds of millions, even close to over $1 billion in resources and direct money and contracts to these mythical companies that nobody knows who owns them, who runs them, but they're just a staffing company that just so happen to get $100 million contracts at a time, hundreds of millions of dollars. And these people, her, Danny, Jessica Jackson, all of these people, I've actually had them on my platform and brought visibility, and I've been covering Chicago for literally multiple years. And you telling me that none of these people actually see them on the ground? Get the hell out of here, bro.
And he don't care nothing. He's a dictator. He don't listen to the people. He don't care what the people want. All while raising our taxes, trying to raise our taxes, advocating, pushing, trying to raise our taxes. Do you see any one of those people I just named? Have you heard any one of them say anything? Have you heard anyone of them cover it? Have they even asked to speak to us to see what's really going on in our neighborhood and see what's going on? It's a bunch of black faces complaining about different things. Why they not interested? You are so pro-black and you into black, the black media and all that. You are for the black people. Why ain't none of y'all interested in what's really happening to the black community and what's really happening to black people? Everybody.
Bro, I even see like my sign going on Math Hoffa's podcast. Math Hoffa said I could use his footage, but it's just like, I talked to his network and he said it's cool, but what they'll do is like it'll probably have to be an upload because I gotta send them the link before I react to it. But my sign was up there just pandering for the left. It was, the way he did it was just insane, bro. He ain't want to hear nothing positive about Trump. It's insane, bro.
Covering it, everybody showing it, trying to shine a light. But no, the black media, the so-called black people who pushed us hard to vote for Kamala, they silenced. They haven't said anything. They haven't even covered it. They haven't even talked about it. Y'all don't find that suspicious. Y'all don't find that just hold on. These are black people. All these are black people having real black issues, going through these and going through these things in a black neighborhood. These are people who not on welfare. These people are working class, people who own their homes, and they have been stolen and taken. And you mean to tell me everybody is covering this? They are all on social media, all on X, everywhere. And you mean to tell me you all won't talk about it?
Cassandra, why are you not a member? What is you doing? Cassandra Levy, I see you.
Even cover it? Won't even mention it? This is what I'm telling you. They do not care about black people. They get paid to sell you out. They know that the Democrat is not in the best interest of black people.
They get paid big money to sell you out.
Know this, but they don't care about you. Only thing they care about is keep getting their bed, so they can take their kids and they can be and their family can be in those gated communities. Their family can go to those schools that the white kids that they tell you is racist that go to. You know, the white people that they tell you is racist, half of them live around them. Their kids go to school with those white racist people. Their kids marry half of those white racist people. So the people that they keep telling you don't want you and don't vote for them and they don't care anything about you, they live around them. Their kids go to school with them. They go to the parties with them. They marry them. So this is...
She is 100% on it.
What these people are. This is who they are. They don't care about black people. They only care about getting paid.
Bro, look at the TYT news, bro. Let me show you. I mean, these dudes are so insane, bro. Chink and all of them. Look at this. Look at the titles. Jack Smith lets Trump go, but who will Trump pardon anyway? And then he says, shocking. Jeffrey Epstein tape on Trump comes out. Kamala takes the lead. Trump interview summary. Was it election changing? This dude, bro. JD Vance says they won't certify the election if they think media is like get out of here, bro.
Using the black struggle or the black plight, they don't care. If they did, they would be saying, hey, what's going on with y'all? Why y'all doing that to our black community? What's going on?
And they would be holding these mayors accountable that's doing the wrong thing. Right? Right?
Talking, hey, let's come shine a light on what's going on. Crickets. They don't care. So this is what we need to do. Not only are we putting the Democrat Party in a timeout and in the corner for about 20 to 30 years, these sellout people, we need to put them in a corner and time out for about 20 to 30 years until they realize, don't you ever play with
I had to unsubscribe from them too, Timothy. I'm not telling people to do that, but I had to. I couldn't.
American citizens, and don't you ever play with the...
And then the real Izzy said, I'm from Chicago, Illinois, born and raised in the fall of Chicago urban community. Started with Ron Emanuel. Yo, he was so corrupt, Ron Emanuel. When he was mayor, he shut down a whole bunch of Chicago public schools.
Black citizens. Until you tell the truth, until you cover things that's really happening with black people and in the black community, if you don't want to say nothing because you don't want to say, then shut up. Don't try to get us to vote to vote our own demise. Stop doing that.
I agree.
Shout out to Mafiosa with the $2 donation. Salute, Piper Boy. The women is talking facts.
I agree 100%.
Shout out to you, bro.
And again, I've actually had her on my platform. I think that she's incredible. She's wise. She's smart. She knows how to communicate. She's a business owner. She's married. All of that.
Shout out to Anton Daniels. Let's see. I think he got another one. Yo, Angela Rye. I cannot stand her, bro. She is one I cannot stand, bro.
One of the frustrations that I'm hearing percolate quite a bit is if the Democratic candidate and the campaign hedged its bets on Donald Trump.
Oh, this is iHeartRadio. I can't listen to this. I don't know what kind of license you got, bro, but no, I can't listen to that, man. I don't want no smoke with iHeartRadio.
That look,
Anybody that says America should go to all wars or America should go to no wars is just being foolish. We just have to be more discriminate about the wars that we fight. We need to have a better conversation about going into war before we send the 82nd Airborne.
I want to see this Neil deGrasse Tyson.
The clip I want to start off with
got destroyed by Bill Maher. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson, bro. I used to respect him, bro. Well, since he got political, this dude's been a loony bin.
The clip I want to start off with is the Bill Maher with Neil deGrasse Tyson. The reason for this is because we had Neil deGrasse Tyson on, and I've been on Bill before, and we had a great time. He spoke 90% of the time. I sat there, had a glass of water. And so it's fun watching someone.
What do you guys think about Valuetainment? Like, his channel is moving, bro. He got 6.3 million subscribers now. It's crazy. And he had Donald Trump on.
Because in here, the amount of things that Neil deGrasse Tyson, the scientist, is saying that Bill Maher can no longer take it. I mean, I think it's a couple clips, right? It's not just one or two clips.
There's this one, there's another one, and then I have an old one that he was talking about something about the
Rob, play this clip first. Let's react to it. Go for it.
Right, let me straighten this up. What y'all think about Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Scientific American, the magazine. I remember when it was around when I was
grew up with it. Yeah.
Grew up with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, their editor had to quit. You saw this.
Yeah, I heard about it because she expressed some opinions. Right. Yeah.
Okay, right, sure, but it sure didn't sound scientific. It didn't sound like the person I would want.
PBD is fire, bro.
To be running Scientific American.
Okay.
It was a rant on Twitter. Okay, I could read it to you. It's really ugly. You know, I apologize to younger voters that my Gen X is so full of fucking fascists. Okay, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Gasket.
Do they ever think to bleep him, bro?
Right there.
I'm not for.
All right. Yeah.
I'm not for canceling anybody on either side.
Yeah.
So But here's what I think is the scandal.
What?
This is in Scientific American.
Yeah.
Less than a year ago. Inequity between male and female athletes is the result not of inherent biological differences between the sexes, but of biases in how they are treated in sports. That's nuts. And it sure ain't scientific, and it's in Scientific American. And that's why the Democrats lost the election.
Yo, Bill Maher's not playing with the Democrats no more, bro. He not playing with the Democrats no more, bro. He tired of y'all rhetoric.
It's true.
Bill, every 20 minutes on your platform, you come up with another reason why the Democrats lost. You already have the answer. They lost the election. So anything you say is why they did it.
First of all, you don't watch this show, so you don't know that. I know you're doing it, it's okay. But you talk as if you do, and you fucking don't. And that's okay. Just don't bullshit me. That's the one.
Yo, Valuetainment, like bleep him out. What is y'all doing, bro? That's why I don't like him, bro. Like, he be saying way too many bad words, bro. You just messed up my monetization, Valuetainment.
I think people can't ever do on this show is bullshit me.
All right, let me get it. Like, he's an idiot with glasses.
They are talking about getting rid of wasting money while creating a new agency to
Man, just because you think somebody wearing a suit and glasses are smart, like, Bill Maher's an idiot.
somehow get rid of wasting money, right? Like, it's a joke.
Kamala Harris is potentially planning a run for president again, or California governor. Jasmine Crockett with the terrible eyelashes. She went unhinged today.
Yo, why he take his pop filter off his microphone, bro? Shout out to you, Devoid Darkness. I ain't going in on you. I just don't know why you did that.
And that Doge is a waste of taxpayer money. President-elect Trump just threatened Mexico, Canada, and China with tariffs because they are not doing anything.
Hit the like button. Stop playing. We only got 70,000 views in here. This is y'all fault. Hit the like button. Wait a minute. Double tap the screen. Hit the emojis. Hit everything. Hit the hearts. I can see if y'all hitting them or not. Stop playing with me.
Stop the fentanyl and illegal migration from crossing our borders. But let's first start with Jasmine Crockett's eyelashes. Can we?
What you laughing at, Clarissa?
talking about getting rid of
Ricky for Will said Bill is an idiot, but he is starting to wake up. Yeah, but you know, to be real about Bill Maher, he's always low key been woke. Like, it's just people just noticing it now. He's always been kind of low key against the Democrats, even though he's like liberal. Like, he's been against a lot of what they do in the news. It's nothing new. It's just people are getting turned on by what he's doing now because people are moving towards the right side. You see what I'm saying? So people are waking up about Bill Maher. Like, I was talking to my girl because she be sending me stuff. Shout out to Mafioso with the $3. I appreciate you for sponsoring this live. But like my girl, she been like sending me a lot of stuff about Bill Maher, and I'm like, he always been like that. You know, that's why I used to listen to him. But like, since he's just become like, I'm getting old, bro. I don't want to hear bad words all day. But since he's just been saying bad words all the time, like I stopped listening to him. But you know, he is like left too, so he's left leaning, so I don't like a lot of what he says. You know what I'm saying? But he's low key been against how they handle the news, the left.
Creating a new agency to
this lady
she
is a race baiter, bro. Let's listen to this, bro.
Ashes. She went on Hinge today saying that Doge is a waste of taxpayer money. President-elect Trump just threatened Mexico, Canada, and China with tariffs because they are not doing anything to stop the fentanyl and illegal migration from crossing our borders. But let's first start with Jasmine Crockett's eyelashes. Can we?
They are talking about getting rid of wasting money while creating a
new... you is right. Like, Trump did sue Bill Maher. Hold on. Let me see if I can show y'all this. I think he said Donald Trump is withdrawing his lawsuit against television host and comedian Bill Maher, seeking $5 million that Maher said he would give to charity, and a seemingly fascist offer if Trump could prove he was not the son of Orangeton. Yo, they crazy.
New agency to somehow get rid of wasting money, right? Like, it's a joke. And honestly, I think this is really more so about self-dealing. You know, when you look at the amount of contracts that someone like Elon Musk has had with the federal government, when you look at Vivek, you know, these are guys.
Donald Trump, you sued him for this, bro? Behind the Donald Trump's $5 million Bill Maher lawsuit is extremely hilarious. Donald Trump been involved in many lawsuits, but this one stands out for the unusual nature. Trump filed a $5 million lawsuit against Bill Maher, and the reason behind it is rather surprising. A still from the Joe Rogan podcast featuring Bill Maher, the bizarre motivation behind the lawsuit had people scratching their heads, wondering if it was a publicity stunt or just Trump being Trump. Either way, this $5 million fiasco has to be one of the most outlandish chapters in Trump's colorful legal history. Trump's $5 million lawsuit, the wild orangutan joke that went too far, Donald Trump is basically saying. Before Donald Trump became the president, he was known for his penchant of lawsuits, including one notable against Bill Maher for $5 million. The origin of the dispute, Maher joked that Trump's dad was a orangutan.
Who have benefited
from... Can we even say that on YouTube? I've been trying to like avoid saying that. Like,
federal contracting.
I don't know.
And honestly, I think that they are looking for additional ways to enhance themselves.
Clarissa Scarver. I try not to say, like, it's certain word. You get your monetization. I don't say that word. I'd be like orangutan. Like, I try not to say that word, bro.
While at the same time probably minimizing oversight and those that would actually say there is a conflict, this is a problem, and no, this should not happen. I honestly think that this subcommittee is going to try to stop the work of those Democrats like my ranking member, Jamie Raskin, from making sure that we're keeping oversight over Donald Trump and his business dealings when it comes to dealing with folks like China and other countries that right now are not.
Because I think now you can say monkey, but you know, orangutan, I think that used to be like one that they didn't want you to say. So I mean, I don't know.
Necessarily on the top of our friends list.
Okay, so where was that attitude with Joe Biden and his family when it came to Ukraine? Where was the oversight then? Can you answer that, Jasmine Crockett? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, let's really explain it to you what's happening here. Okay, so this attack is like criticizing a firefighter for using water to put out a fire, right? Meaning,
Alicia with the 199. Appreciate you for sponsoring this. Shout out to Alicia. She should get a special Thug Life. Mafioso, Thug Life. Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been supporting the channel. I appreciate y'all. You know, if it wasn't for, Mafioso. Hey, Mafioso, bro. We did it, bro. We did it. You know, if it wasn't for people like y'all, man, like I would not have this. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all.
Why are you criticizing Elon Musk, who's the richest person in our country, who clearly is a genius of our time, and Vivek Ramaswamy, who in his own right is a genius as well? I mean, why would you be criticizing them about trying to cut the deficit? Wouldn't you want them to trim the fat from the federal government? I find that so interesting that you guys want to spend more time trying to have oversight over Trump instead of oversight on these tax dollars that the American people are fed up with. And let's not even mention how the Department of Defense continues to fail audit after audit after audit and can't even account for almost $1 trillion budget that they get every year. But hey, Trump is bad, and so we need to focus on him. Isn't that the mindset, Jasmine? Got it.
This government needs to be allowed to operate. Republicans won the election. They have the presidency, they have the House, they have the Senate. Democrats need to fall in line here a little bit. They can be loyal opposition, but that doesn't mean you have to be totally obstructive. I think if they are, it's going to hurt them politically. The American people said we need some action, and Donald Trump and the Republicans ought to be able to take that action. It's the mandate delivered by the American people.
Now let's
shout out to Mafioso with the $5 donation. He said, "We did it, Piper Boy. Thug Life, salute." Hey, yo, like they were saying we weren't gonna get 100,000, bro. We did it.
Listen to a colleague of hers.
Hey, the next goal is 200,000. How about that? And we already got 106,000 subscribers.
Who actually is singing?
It took it took a while for the plaque to come in, Mafioso. Like, you gotta think, bro. Like, I had to you gotta wait 10 days, for YouTube to clear. Then to make sure all the views is real, like, and who you are, like all this crazy stuff, bro. And then they finally, by the time I got the plaque, I had 105,000 subscribers.
In a different tune as it pertains to Doge. Check this out.
I do want to ask you about, we were just talking about this a few moments ago, Doge, as it's called, this Department of Government Efficiency, led by Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. You come from Silicon Valley. You represent that part of the country. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, should this be taken seriously? Should two people from outside of government like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have that kind of sway over what stays and what goes in the federal government?
Well, ultimately, they're going to provide recommendations. It's Congress that appropriates money. Let me provide an area where there could be bipartisan collaboration. I mean, the defense budget, which is nearly $1 trillion, is dominated by 5 primes. There has been tremendous reporting about the waste, fraud, and abuse in that budget. The Pentagon hasn't passed an audit and has failed the last 6 or 7 audits. So if they go to say there needs to be more open competition, not the monopolization in defense contractors, and propose recommendations, that's something that I think could be supported. If they find areas of truly wasteful spending across the government, they would get support.
Yeah, so Congressman Ro Khanna, he definitely has a future in the Democratic Party because lately, every time you see him on the news, he comes with an open mind. He exercises some level of common sense, okay? He is on the other side of things because he is a Democrat, but he's not deranged like Jasmine Crockett is. And so while she is focusing on Trump so much, you know what Trump is already focused on doing? Making sure that the border is secure. These drugs stop coming across the border. Okay, so let's take a moment really quick. If you guys are getting value from Unstoppable in its quest to come through our current open border on January 20th as one of my first, as everyone is aware, thousands of people are pouring through Mexico and Canada, bringing crime and drugs at levels never seen before. Right now, a caravan coming from Mexico composed of thousands of people seems to be unstoppable in its quest to come through our current open border on January 20th as one of my first executive orders. I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. This tariff will remain in effect until such time as drugs, in particular fentanyl, and all illegal aliens stop the invasion of our country. Both Mexico and Canada have the absolute right and power to easily solve this long simmering problem. We hereby demand that they use this power, and until such time that they do, it is time for them to pay a very big price. And here,
isn't this crazy? Like, we literally have an invasion of our country, and Democrats are arguing against it. Like, we read before, like, what was it, yesterday or the day before? Like, we did a live and we were reading, like, what, it's not like it's more like South Africans and like different, like, you know what I'm saying, Filipino, like, it's like different type of people coming in here. It's not all Mexican people. They coming in through there. You know what I'm saying, the Mexican border, but it's not all Mexican people that's doing that. But like, we see it as Venezuelans, like all kind of stuff, but we see it a literal invasion like happening in America, and people are arguing against it. Like, you got governors saying like, oh, we're not going to deport people. And these are the states that don't require like voter IDs. This is crazy, bro.
Here's Bill Ackman reacting to this as well. He put, to be clear, according to Trump, the 25% tariffs will not be implemented.
And then we wonder why they never have any money for us if something happens. Because they're either giving it to Ukraine or they're using it, you know what I mean, to house like illegals and give them like food. You know, Eric Adams giving illegals $350 a week for food vouchers, $1,400 a month in food vouchers. That's crazy, bro. Like, yeah, if I'm in a different country and they're doing stuff like that, I'm straight to the United States. Free food.
Or if implemented, will be removed once Mexico and Canada stop the flow of illegal immigrants and fentanyl into the U.S. In other words, President-elect Trump is going to use tariffs as a weapon to achieve economic and political outcomes which are in the best interest of America, fulfilling his America First policy. This is a great way for Trump to affect foreign policy changes even before he takes office. Then he ended up following up later and saying this: I've had many talks with China about the massive amounts of drugs, in particular fentanyl, being sent into the United States, but to no avail. Representatives of China told me that they would institute their maximum penalty, that of death, for any drug dealers caught doing this, but unfortunately, they never follow through. And drugs are pouring into our country, mostly through Mexico, at levels never seen before. Until such time as they stop.
Try bringing fentanyl into Indonesia. See what happens to you.
We will be charging China an additional 10% tariff among any additional tariffs on all of their many products coming into the United States of America. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So allow me to summarize this, right? Why is Trump doing this before he even takes office, right? It's a way to ensure that accountability is now being focused on.
Y'all remember these dudes? Hold on, let me show y'all. You remember these dudes? They're like in Indonesia or whatever. Remember them? Remember, dude? They were like trafficking drugs through like Indonesia. Hey, they no longer here no more. Indonesia not playing, but America allowed like all these people to come in here and bring all that stuff in here. Like, nah.
When it comes to Mexico and Canada and China, that they're not going to continue to just skate by and think no one's going to say anything anymore, right? And it's also about getting results, which is what Trump was elected for. By hitting these nations where it hurts in their wallets, Trump is sending a clear message. America will no longer tolerate negligence that endanger its citizens. The tariffs are a strategic move to pressure these nations into action while protecting American jobs and security. And let's not forget, over 100,000 Americans die each year from drug overdoses, with fentanyl being the leading cause. China has been implicit in this because they manufacture, distribute fentanyl that obviously go through Mexico and then into America. So in the end, what's going to happen is these countries are going to start taking America seriously. So now this leads us to our next story about Kamala Harris hinting that she's going to run for president again. And I just want to say this: I don't believe America will take this seriously, and I don't think the Democratic Party will take this seriously, okay? But here is the story. She's in Hawaii vacationing with her husband, of course. Now, advisors and allies say they have been instructed by the vice president to keep her options open. She could run again for president in 2028 or even run for the open governor seat in her home state of California in 2026. Governor Gavin Newsom, who came up through California politics with Harris, is term limited and may eye a 2028 run for the White House himself.
Bro, Newsom, there's no way they're going to make that dude like president. But I don't know. Democrats, I don't know what they're
nominated
liable
to be
to
the
do.
AG. He suddenly withdrew his under blackmail because that is where we are at. I now think there's a blackmail operation running in all 50 states. All right, who am I speaking about? Matt Gaetz, Florida congressman or former Florida congressman that Trump nominated to be the AG. He suddenly withdrew his nomination. We were all speaking about that. We weren't quite sure what was going on. Well, the full story there is incredible, and we have it for you. Plus, speaking of nominations, I'm apparently in the running for Anti-Semite of the Year.
She is funny, bruh.
Not kidding.
What's
The
up,
account
Emma?
Stop Anti-Semitism has selected me, Greta Thunberg, Bassem Youssef, Dan Bilzerian, many others, and are encouraging people to vote on who should win. And this puts me in a weird bind because I am naturally competitive and I like to win. We're going to talk about all of that coming up now. Welcome back to Candace. Welcome back to Candace. This person that I'm showing you on the screen right now is the son of Andrew Greenberg. He's a dentist. Andrew Greenberg, his father, is a dentist and the founder of Greenberg Dental. They have a chain of over 90 dental clinics throughout Florida. So a very wealthy family. 2009.
Bro, I just literally had a problem with a dental company here in Nashville, like this week. So West Nashville Dental, bro, they was charging my credit card and I've never been to them. Ever. I had to like file a fraud case on them, like through my credit card. And I called them. I'm like, why are y'all charging my credit card? I've never been with y'all before, ever. And they're like, oh, we don't have any record of you being here. I'm like, then why are y'all charging my credit card? So I had to like take it up with Apple. Apple like fixed it and gave me my money back. But it's like, yo, y'all is crazy. Like, you know, like if you got a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. A lot of y'all got a lot of money. You know, it is what it is. But like, look at like what you spend. Like, you never know. It'd be like companies you never even dealt with a lot of times be like trying to charge you for stuff, and you may just look over it because it was like I think they were charging me like $16 like every month or something for something. Like I'm like, what is this? Then I looked and they've been charging me that since like January. Like these companies, bro, they be scheming.
Joel Greenberg, his son, was serving as the tax collector for Seminole County, Florida. And Mel, our ex-reporter, describes Joel like this. She wrote, quote, Greenberg is your classic rich kid who dinks through life, lighting fires that everyone else is forced to put out, never landing hard because daddy's money always catches his fall. You know the type, we all do. And Joel approached his role as tax collector no different than any other. Okay, so we all do kind of know this person that comes up with just raised with so much money. They got like the fast car, unbelievably expensive car when they turn like 15 and a half, huge parties all the time. And it is true, these people tend to be a prototype. And so he gets elected into this position of power. And while he is a tax collector, he gets accused of being involved in this crypto scam, okay? So it's politics, it's Republican politics. Of course, if someone sees that you're in hot water, they're going to go, okay, well, primaries are coming up. I'm going to primary you. And that's what happened to our rich kid, Joel Greenberg, a man named Brian Butte, who had thitherto been a teacher, decided to throw his name in the hat. He was like, I'm going to run against you, Joel Greenberg. The Republican primary's coming up. What's up? You've got there's a little bit of shady stuff going on with your record. What are you doing with that crypto stuff? But here's the thing about rich kids. They do not like being told no. They don't play by the same rules as the rest of us. We know this. And Joel was used to having his way throughout life.
Yeah, they definitely do not like being told no. You see them two twins, what they did to their parents, they told them no. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
He decided that
what they called the Menendez brothers.
Going to destroy Butte with smear tactics, publicly and privately. First, he starts saying to people publicly, he's a carpetbagger. I had to look up that term. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Yo, hit the like button if y'all can. Otherwise, I gotta leave because it's slowing the video down. We got like 90,000 views in here now, but hit the like button if y'all can.
with it. Literally, they used to have these old school bags made out of carpets that people used to travel with. Think about like Mary Poppins when she pulls out that lamp. It's like a carpet bag. And so you describe somebody as a carpetbagger if they don't even go here. And that's the reality, is that Butte was from Michigan. He then moved to Florida. So he goes, oh, he's a carpetbagger. But that wasn't enough, so he started upping his smear tactics against Butte, and he did this in a really creepy but very on par with a bratty rich kid kind of way. He created fake Facebook profiles and pretended to be Brian Butte's past students. He even set up a Facebook page, which has since been removed by Facebook, and he entitled it Creepy Brian Butte. And he would generate these fake posts. This is an adult man, I'm not kidding. It's just so rich kid, I can't.
Creepy Brian Butte. She is funny, bro.
Stand it. It's like a rich teenage girl more than anything else. And he would generate these fake posts trashing Butte as an awful teacher, but also as a pervert, okay? So our ex-reporter Mel goes on to write, quote, that Greenberg's antics finally reached an apex when he mailed, because he was going crazy, he got obsessed with trying to
What kind of camera y'all think she using? I think she's using like a Sony A7. Like that's a clean camera, bro. Like that's a clean
this man
camera.
Down. He mailed handwritten letters to the administrators at the school where Butte taught, accusing him of sexually assaulting his students. Okay, I mean, that's just like insane. Like, this is an election. He's sitting here and he's like, I'm going to pretend that you sexually assaulted students. You are getting out of this race. I get what I want. Mommy and daddy never told me.
That is definitely a Sony camera. Yeah. So
no, and you, Mr. Butte, are not about to tell me no. So what Greenberg didn't expect was that those letters were going to be taken very seriously. I don't know why he didn't expect this, or maybe he just thought his daddy was going to bail him out, or he didn't expect any of these things, or else he would have been more careful, obviously, but he wasn't. And when the letters were turned over to the local sheriff's office, they obviously checked to see if it had fingerprints. The letters did have fingerprints. His DNA and fingerprints were lifted from them. And this rich kid, Joe Greenberg, got arrested on June 23rd, 2020, and was charged by the Department of Justice with stalking. Okay, so here we have it. The stalking charges against Greenberg alleged that he used a pseudonym to send letters to the middle school where Butte was a teacher, falsely claiming that Butte had a sexual relationship with a student. This is really just incredible. Like these are just adults, and this is, for whatever reason, going on. Welcome to American politics.
Wow. Anyways,
in the process of them arresting him, the police also confiscated his phone. And then the heat really got turned up because rich kids are always doing the absolute most. The police were able then to collect evidence of embezzlement, drugs, prostitution.
She said rich kids are always doing the absolute most. Yo, you said you a Nikon girl. Nikon's all right. They're all right. But like when you doing professional like stuff like this, I mean, I know you can use Nikon professional, but like when you doing like this type of like Canon, you can tell the difference between like a Canon red camera and then like a Sony. Like Nikon, I can't really tell.
Identity theft, wire fraud, and yes, the crypto market manipulation that people were already heavily suggesting that he was involved in. Plus, and here's the big one.
And Sony cameras just give you a clean, like, well-defined, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, depth of field and like everything is just so clean on the Sony camera. Whereas like the Canons, colors seem to be a little bit oversaturated, but you know, Sony's will give you like low-key muted but natural look. Like that's why I think this is a Sony camera.
Messages between him and a 17-year-old girl discussing their sexcapades all around Florida and beyond Florida. Okay. So per the criminal suit, he had spent $70,000 on hookers that he met on the Sugar Daddy website. If you're not familiar, it's like this website where girls can sign up and just what it sounds like, they can find themselves a sugar daddy to pay for their lives if they go on dates with them. And so they were able to see that he spent $70,000 on hookers that he met on Sugar Daddy, and he was using his government-issued Amex. So that was not a great thing. Now, to be fair, while this young woman was...
it looked like she got like because I'm looking at her studio right now. It looks like she got like a Ari Alexa. That's what it looked like. It's either a red camera or Ari Alexa. Ari Alexas are like crazy expensive. Let me show you her studio real quick. You see what I'm saying? Like, can you see it? That's like it looks like a Ari Alexa. It's like a movie camera is what she's using.
On the website, she obviously was representing herself to be of age. But off the site, Greenberg
they always like crisp and clean, Holly. What's up, Blue?
Knew that that was not true and that she was in fact underage. And how do we know that he knew that? Because he used the power of his office to make it so that she was of age. What am I talking about? Well, in Florida, the Office of County Tax Collector doesn't just collect taxes, they also issue driver's licenses and state IDs. So he was making and keeping IDs for himself. So if somebody would come in and be like, hi, I'm Candace, I moved to Tennessee, here's my Connecticut ID, I've moved from Connecticut. You're supposed to shred my old ID. He was keeping IDs, storing them.
I'm trying to figure out how does this go into Matt Gaetz.
Giving them out, using them, and he was able to secure fake IDs for his lovers. So in August of 2020, the DOJ was able to charge Joel Greenberg with sex trafficking of a minor, identity theft, and the production of false identification documents, shred my old, very many other things. And this is where Matt Gaetz comes in. You're probably going, okay, Candace, what's that have to do with Matt Gaetz? It does have something to do with Matt Gaetz. So apparently Greenberg and Matt Gaetz were friends. Nobody really knows how long or how close they were friends, but they were definitely friends. I'd imagine it's not difficult to run in the same circles, given the fact that Matt was also involved in politics, also grew up as a wealthy kid in Florida. It's a small world. Of course, they came across each other. Here's a photo of Matt Gaetz with Joel Greenberg and Roger Stone. Now, realizing how much trouble he was in, Joel Greenberg, he was trying to figure out, how do I get out of trouble? Let me cut a deal. Can I throw somebody else under the bus? I want less time. With friends like these, who needs enemies? So his lawyers contacted Bill Barr's office, then the Attorney General under President Trump, and he says, hey, look, homies, I've got dirt on a sitting congressman who also happens to be my friend, Matt Gaetz.
Hold on, let me show y'all what Candace Owens just put up. Hold on. So this lady from TYT, right, said kindness from a guy named Jeff completely changed Anna view on Trump supporters trying to get his bicycle up the stairs. The guy stops me. His name is Jeff. Let me help you. All right, so let me hear what she's saying.
And so I'm like trying to get his bicycle like up the stairs, and all of a sudden this man stops me. His name's Jeff, and he's like, hey, let me help you out with that. And he starts helping me out. He stopped everything he was doing to help me out. And then Jeff and I became very close. You know, one of my neighbors who I really like, he was my favorite person in the entire building. And years go by. One day we're in an HOA meeting, homeowners association. And
bro, you're so smart. You got an HOA. We gonna let her talk, but like, I know not to get no HOA, bro. But you ain't about to be telling me what to do in my house. Like, you crazy.
And one of the people living in the building said something about Trump that was negative. I don't remember what it is. And Jeff whispers in my ear, oh, she's going to start trashing Trump. I'm out of here. And it hit me that he's a Trump supporter. We had never talked about politics before. And I'm like, so I got to know Jeff before I knew what his politics were. Incredibly kind guy. He helps everyone in this building with anything they might need. And so that woke me up to, wait a minute, not all Trump supporters are like dangerous, evil individuals. And
it took Jeff. You thought we was just dangerous, evil individuals, lady?
Yes, it was stupid that I thought that to begin with. Like, I'm embarrassed admitting that, but it's just how I believed. And that kind of was one of the moments where it's like a light bulb went off and something was telling me, you need to scratch beneath the surface a little more because you don't have a realistic view of what's going on here.
It took Jeff. And then Candace Owens says, it's obvious Anna has migrated from a lot of her radical left positions over the years. I think the change has been authentic and should be welcome. Still disagree with her on a lot, especially transgenderism, but think she'd be a lot more open to learning about why. Let me retweet that. Shout out to her.
I will literally sell this man down a river to save my own skin. What do I have to do? And then he says, I have proof that he engaged in sex acts with minors. So the DOJ opens a secret investigation into Matt Gaetz. And by a secret investigation, I mean they leaked it to the New York Times, because that's what our Department of Justice does. They just leak
Yeah, Holly. I see what Burt Collins, he said, I like my HOA, to be honest. I don't like anybody like going up on my mortgage and, you know, all of that. That's I don't like that. But some people do. Some people might have good HOAs. I don't know. Like, I don't want somebody telling me what I can and can't do at my house. How many, you know what I mean, cars I can have in my driveway, whether or not I can have a hot tub, whether or not I can put a shed in the back of my house, what color my door needs to be, like what color my roof needs to be, like how, you know, I don't like, I wouldn't be able to deal with that. I would sell my house if I had to deal with something like that. But, you know, I don't know Collins's situation. Like, he could have like a good HOA. Holly said a lot of people on HOA boards have serious control issues. Everybody that I know that deal with HOAs, like, complain about them. And I made sure, like, because, bro, I was looking at some real, like, crazy nice houses, but they was like all in like HOAs. And like, when I looked at, and I was asking neighbors, I'm like, what do you think about the HOA? They're like, they keep going up on the price. You know what I mean? The members HOA thing, they keep going up on it, and then they tell you what to do. So be prepared. You know, if you like putting out, you know, Christmas lights, and maybe you want to put up a flag, or maybe you want to, you know, anything like that, like, be careful, because they can tell you what to do. And I'm like, what? So I decided not to do a HOA. And then I looked at YouTube videos and people complaining about HOAs. I'm like, ain't no way, bro, I could do that. So I bought a house that's not in an HOA.
Stuff to the New York Times, because the New York Times really is kind of, you know, a part of the deep state. They're not separate from them. And that brings us to the interview. I know we showed you this last week, but I'm going to show it to you again now that we're getting deeper into the story. The interview that Matt Gaetz did with Tucker Carlson after New York Times breaks the story. They are alike.
Collins said, my HOA prices never change, but you know, if you like putting out, I will say you get neighbors that don't care about your house as much as you do. Keep your neighborhood nice. Yeah, I mean, but just look at the neighborhood that you moving into, you know, and see if it looks nice, you know, and see how they keeping it up, you know, and decide from there. Like, where I live at, I mean, my neighbors is pretty cool. Like, we're keeping their house. I do got one neighbor. She low key be wilding, but the city comes and like tells her, like, 'cause she'll just like have like cars like everywhere with no like tags and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And so the city be getting on to her, like making her fix stuff, like when she get too crazy. But yeah, but I just don't want nobody telling me what, if I'm paying for a house, like I'm paying for a house. Like, I don't want nobody having anything to, like, if I choose to paint my house whatever color, I don't want nobody putting a ticket on my door telling me I need to change something. Or if I want to put a lot of Halloween decorations out, oh, this is offending your neighbors. Like, I don't want none of that, bro.
Alleging that he's involved in this human trafficking, the sex trafficking of minors, and he is completely and genuinely shocked by these allegations.
Kathy said the HOA in my neighborhood said one of my neighbors can't have a red front door. Living in an HOA is like being a slave to someone else's opinion. Exactly. And then you got to think about this. What if your HOA member person, you get into an argument with them somewhere? It could happen. The world ain't as big as you think. You end up getting into an argument with your HOA person about anything. Like, they just get smart with you for one reason or another. And you like, who you think you talk, you know, and then next thing you know, like, this person on you. Every little thing that you doing. Like, nah, bro. I can't do it.
And makes a wild claim that the Department of Justice is trying to extort him to make these ridiculous claims go away. So let's take a look at what he said and the story that he gave to Tucker once this broke in the news. Take a listen.
This is obviously a serious allegation. Tell us what the truth is from your perspective.
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie. The New York Times is running a story that I have traveled with a 17-year-old woman, and that is verifiably false. People can look at my travel records and see that that is not the case. What is happening is an extortion of me and my family involving a former Department of Justice official. On March 16th, my father got a text message demanding a meeting wherein a person demanded $25 million in exchange for making horrible sex trafficking allegations against me go away. Our family was so troubled by that, we went to the local FBI. And the FBI and the Department of Justice were so concerned about this attempted extortion of a member of Congress that they asked my dad to wear a wire, which he did with the former Department of Justice official. Tonight, I am demanding that the Department of Justice and the FBI release the audio recordings that were made under their supervision and at their direction, which will prove my innocence and that will show that these allegations aren't true. They're merely intended to try to bleed my family out of money. And this former Department of Justice official tomorrow was supposed to be contacted by my father so that specific instructions could be given regarding the wiring of $4.5 million as a down payment on this bribe. I don't think it's a coincidence that tonight, somehow, the New York Times is leaking this information, smearing me, and ruining the investigation that would likely result in one of the former colleagues of the current DOJ being brought to justice for trying to extort me and my family.
So a couple of obvious questions that come to mind, and again, just to restate, this just happened, don't have any other information beyond what we've already said and you have said. First of all, who is this Department of Justice former employee who's trying to extort the money from you, you say?
His name is David McGee. He was a top official in the leadership in the Northern District of Florida as a prosecutor. He currently works at the Beggs and Lane law firm. As a matter of fact, one of the recordings that was made at the FBI and Department of Justice request occurred at that law firm, and the money that was supposed to be paid today that would have shown even more evidence of David McGee's work in this extortion scheme, that was foiled by the New York Times story, and I believe that's why this horrible information and these terrible allegations have been used this evening.
Wow. And somebody said, we just ignore most of what HOA has to say within reason. Yeah, but they could choose to ticket you. Time said, all I need an HOA for is to keep the lawns cleanish. But to be honest, a destroyed lawn can be called into the city, so I don't need an HOA. Yeah, HOAs just make people's pockets fat, bro. That's how I feel about it. I could be wrong. But yeah, like if the city, like the city usually steps in with certain things, bro. Bree Bird said the last HOA I ever lived in tried to fine me $150 a day for the chalk art work my 2-year-old did. Wow, that's crazy.
By the way,
but then like Bree Bird, like people's kids like can end up leaving their bikes everywhere, like doing that, like, you know, chalking things. So, you know, some people don't like kids, you know what I mean? So I could get it like in that aspect, but that's crazy. $150 a day. That's crazy, man. I couldn't do it.
Tucker has the best surprise face. He's like, what is going on here? Crazy plot twist. What? We thought you were going to respond to these allegations. Now you're saying the Department of Justice is using a former employee to try to extort you for $25 million. Either Matt Gaetz is a crazy man or he's telling the truth. So let's just recap what he offered there. He is saying a man named David McGee, who used to work for the Department of Justice, approached his father and says, look, you give us $25 million and we'll make this thing with your son go away. And shockingly, Matt was indeed telling the truth about that correspondence. So let me tell you this part of the story because it's wild. So David McGee did indeed used to work at the DOJ about a...
Like this lady I was talking to, she, not like talking to like that, but like I was at a bar and she was like telling me a problem that she had with HOA. So she has like around Nashville, she lives in, I don't know tell you where she live at, but it's in Nashville, she got an HOA. So they wanted all the doors to be painted like an olive green. And so they were saying like they wanted it done by a certain time. And so she was going to have like somebody paint the door for her that she trusts, like a painter. And so she came home one day and her door was painted olive green. And so they literally opened up her door and then painted her door. But what they did a bad paint job. So like right where the knobs are, you know how you supposed to, like, if you paint the door, you take the door assembly off, like the knobs off. She said that they just painted like around like the knobs, and like splashes of paint was like all over the knobs and stuff like that. She was like really mad and agitated about it. But I'm like, they could do that? And she's like, yeah, like they can. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, ain't no way, man. That's like renting. Like, you're not even owning. That's like fake owning a house, like having an HOA.
A decade earlier. So now he's working at a law firm.
But I gotta go to Costco real quick. I gotta get I'm gonna get something to eat, and then I'm gonna come back because I got some dude that's about to fix like my hot tub I got outside, and then I'm gonna come back and do some more blogs. But shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all click the notification bell so y'all can get notified on when the blogs drop. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We got 101,000 views. You know, so I want to say shout out to Emma. I see she been working. She been telling people to hit the like button and all of that. I've been seeing them coming through. You know, shout out to y'all. That's when the views get like that. That's y'all hitting the like button, hitting the emojis, the confetti, the 100, the like all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's all y'all sharing the video. That is what's pushing the videos. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. I will be back.